Пошли. Все вместе. Какие ваши доказательства?
They want you to comply.
Cancel culture is about canceling.
Кокаином.
Up yours. Woke moralists. Up yours.
This is systematic bullying that's happening.
Woke moralists. Up yours.
And they believe that they can then
Woke
shut us
moralists.
up.
Up yours. Woke moralists.
They seem animalistic is what I mean.
No, they're worse than animals.
The woke mob, they ruin everything.
They stop Ben Shapiro from going to events and speaking. They stop Ann Coulter from doing it.
I will never surrender even a single inch of ground to a pitchfork mob.
You never cave to the mob.
We will never bow to the mob. Ever. No matter what.
Do you see the final expression of cancel culture in terrorist groups like
Up yours.
We'll see who cancels who.
What's up?
Hello, friends. How we doing?
Those intro inserts at the end there, just they seem so out of place, but they're hilarious.
I came back early from Puerto Rico. I switched my flights just to make sure I was here.
Oh my God! You should have stayed in Puerto Rico a little longer. I would have been.
Oh no, I didn't need any inferences. I didn't need
vacation.
any inferences from my absence. I said, I've
There would be.
I've never missed an episode. If I start now, that'll be the next thing we have to address.
yeah. There's a lot. I don't know where you all want to start. There's so much to unpack. I'm a little bit overwhelmed, even just like starting.
I think everyone's caught up at this point. I think everyone's kind of done their homework.
I'm an expert. I know everything.
Binder?
I tell people that before, we have a unanimous decision, and Binder would like to speak.
Right. Yes, I'd like to. Listen, we gotta address the elephant in the room here, and that's Lance has all these LGBTQ flags behind his behind him in his background.
What's going on there?
Look at this.
I also have the Rational National LGBTQ plus shirt, and I was going to wear it today because I was doing a piece on like how they're going after LGBTQ plus folk, the Target stuff. I really wanted to be like, and you know what? I'm going to get fucking even more gay. You know, my gayness is going to ramp up exponentially as long as you're like pushing back in the opposite direction. So I was like, yeah, that's going to be. I'm starting early. All right, I'm starting Pride early this year. That's
yeah.
Oh, sorry. But the embarrassing part is I'm sorry, David. I spilled fucking some chili on the white shirt, and it already looks scuffed. I was like, no,
chili. Jesus,
yeah.
You really do me dirty. God damn.
I know.
Man.
I'm sorry.
That's desecration.
It's okay. Buy a second one. It's all good.
Here he. Back to Binder.
Yeah, sure.
Binder, lead us off. Lead us into the discourse.
Sure. So,
wait, what are we talking about today? I don't even know. What's going on? What's happening?
Well, we should address what's important. So, people have been asking us more and more about the one of the co-hosts of Leftist Mafia, and because there's been a lot of first there were the videos calling it drama and all sorts of things, and then there were videos that came out and explained the more egregious allegations in detail. And so we came together, and basically the Leftist Mafia decided that one of our members was going to get a promotion like this. If you guys remember this scene from Goodfellas. No, basically we had to decide whether one specific member, Blair, aka Illuminati, was going to stay with the show after these videos came out. And, people have been asking us about it for weeks. And at first, I think we thought, at least this is from my perspective, I thought it was just YouTube drama. And those first videos were titled as such. And then more videos came out and gave us a much larger sort of view of what was really going on. And, it was mixed in with some of that like YouTube drama stuff that we just assumed it all was at first. But it wasn't all that. Some of the issues were very serious. And I think we had a meeting, which is actually the first time we met when we weren't doing a show, just to let you all know how serious we took this. And, I think
deadass on Saturday. On Saturday.
Mm-hmm. It was Saturday.
Yeah.
And, I think we decided that the combination of how serious some of these allegations were, combined with the fact that, unfortunately, Illuminati was not addressing the more serious allegations, and also, she had mentioned that if it became too much, she would have stepped away on her own. But we decided that, yeah, it was detracting from our work and what we do, and the allegations weren't good, and we couldn't really stand by without any sort of addressing of the situation on her end. But it just wasn't happening in the weeks that we gave her the chance to do it. So as of today, the Leftist Mafia is Mike Figueredo, David Dole, Ole, Lance, and me, Matt Binder. And that's it. The 5 of us.
Mm-hmm.
We'd also decided that based on how the past few weeks went, every month our audience will vote on which one of us gets kicked off the show next. And we will continue that until there's none of us left.
Just one sole survivor. Can I also add to that as well? Just on a more serious note, I do apologize to the audience for not taking this seriously. I just want you to understand from our perspective as public-facing people, every single week, if not every day, we see a bunch of drama about each other, about, oh, did you know that Lance said this? David said this. And so instinctively, I dismiss a lot of it because a lot of it is bad faith. So I do feel bad that I initially didn't look at the situation with severity. And sometimes not taking a position is taking a position. So I do feel bad that people felt like we were, I guess, inadvertently endorsing Blair's behavior here, because I absolutely, and I want to be clear about this, I unequivocally denounce what she did. And I really feel bad for Wonder and the clique. I think that her behavior was manipulative, controlling, it was deceitful, and it was downright abusive. It's something that you can't do this to people and then just not respond. Like, there needs to be accountability. There needs to be an apology. And like, I believe in restorative justice, but in my opinion, Blair has not even started to take those steps for restorative justice. She hasn't. I genuinely don't even know if she thinks that what she did is wrong.
Yeah, I think I see somebody in the chat said, objectively, this sucks. I would much rather have Blair explain herself and have a conversation with all of you instead of just dropping with no potential for change. This is why the left loses. Respectfully, that's ass. That's not the case here. We've actually been incredibly to our own detriment. We've received
that's ass.
No, yeah, we've received an excessive amount of criticism because we gave a lot of grace in this situation, and we have given Blair ample opportunity to explain herself. Blair has a massive YouTube channel, bigger than all of our channels, even with the loss of subscribers, bigger than all of our channels. She is continuing to upload videos. She is choosing, for whatever her own reasons, not to address it, explain herself. And again, I made clear, and for that reason, I have seen my face on several thumbnails slandering me because of the last time we addressed it, because I said that I did speak to her, and obviously she did not share with me what the nature of this situation is, because like I said, when we addressed it on the after show, for those who've seen it, I said I didn't know. I did not watch the exposés because I was not somebody going to go out of my way. I figure this is drama. That's what I thought. We're always like, to echo the earlier
also
sentiment.
started way more minor too, right?
But
let's little things that escalated to bigger things.
Right. We should make it clear that those first videos, like I really have a hard time watching videos like that based on YouTube drama, and those first videos were that they were even titled as such. Like, I'm not even like just myself. I'm like describing it as that. Some of the videos I saw when people told me, "Oh, you got to watch this video," it was like the Illuminati drama explained, the controversy around Illuminati. Like, those sort of clickbait headlines don't do anyone any real justice or help if the actual, if based on the headline too, but also a lot of the content was mixing in some of this basically like, this creator doesn't like this creator and they have a beef over this sort of menial reason. Like when you mix those things into the real issues that were focused on weeks later, I think you sort of muddy the water. That's why I was so confused at first. And I think the rest of you felt that way too.
Every week there's 6 of us. Every week I look, someone is tangentially in their own internet controversy with some backstories and pre-existing relationships and things that I don't know about. And that just is par for the course. You know what I mean? It goes past. To me, I assumed, yes, I thought she was in a huge scandal, but I thought it was because her platform is huge. I thought the drama is commensurate to the size of her platform, not the level of the true seriousness of like this being a thing. And I'm not somebody, like I said, I wasn't going to go out of my way to go spend my time like watching, what I assume is drama with controversy and a bunch of videos. And I just didn't really know. And I just kind of was going about my business because to my understanding, all that had ever been presented to me on this situation or from Blair or anything was that there are people that did not like her, that she's previously known, you know what I mean? Because she went and did her own thing and jealousy. I see now that appears to be the opposite of such, right? But that was all I thought. I thought this is some whatever thing. And I've since gotten informed. The whole thing about information in this life is when you get new information, you come to an opinion, a conclusion. And I will say this, I understand why there was somebody in the audience last week I had noted, I'd seen say, we're worried about y'all. You know what I mean? Is why and I was like, in my mind, in my spirit at the time, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Whatever. And then by the time I watched 15 exposés, it's really an unfortunate thing to piss off excellent video essayists because, fascinating drama as a person who loves reality.
All of them.
I understood what people were saying. I see, what's up. I understand why y'all were like, we need to watch the videos, we need to this. Oh, I understand.
And I want to add also that like the only context that I had was Blair's initial response video, and at that point when I watched that, I thought that the totality of the drama was the Legal Eagle stuff. Watching her video, I didn't have any additional context. I thought that it was fine. But after going through watching, recap videos, watching the Click and Wonders videos, I actually feel really disappointed in myself that I didn't watch her initial video more critically because there were red flags.
Same. I assumed, here's the thing. I watched it in a vacuum. I've never seen, I don't know any of these people. I've never seen anything. I assumed, my rational mind could only assume that she must have been responding to them. You know what I mean? Like allegations they made. I never thought I would have conceived, like when I watched that it was her presenting his mental health for the first time and bringing it. I didn't look at it. I didn't see this note. I didn't, you know what I mean? In my mind, oh, she's in drama. Here's a video. This is somebody, I have a friendly enough relationship that I host the thing or whatever. Cool, whatever. I didn't know that. I didn't see. I didn't whatever. Once I actually seen videos and seeing what the original tweets and all these different things are, I could see it differently, the use of the platform, but I didn't have any of that context. And I thought about it. I just did not realize. I just didn't fucking realize a month ago, like this would be this. I really, like I said, this is the first time we've never met. We've done this show this whole time. This was something like we did to have fun. Like Lance put us together one time for a midterm stream. Then we thought it would be fun to do the show. And we've never had a meeting ever. We go real. Yeah. We just roll with it. We've never had a meeting. This was the first time we had to have a meeting. I never thought I could do a meeting. So I just didn't know.
Yeah, and I also want to address the fact that, when it comes to this entire situation, I also released an individual video to apologize because I did take, Blair's side initially when I'd seen her first video, and I didn't know this was going to continuously amplify into what it's become. It's one of those things where, I recorded that, I went off to go do the Tim Pool thing, my editor ended up releasing it, days later, and then all of a sudden it's like, Lance, you have to watch, 8 more videos. Just, there's, hours and hours and hours of things now that have come out since, and then, I think it's totally valid and totally it's a very fair criticism of both myself or I guess any other content creator who makes this kind of stuff and just you can't just say that stuff exists in a vacuum. You can't just like isolate yourself completely and be like, oh, well, this is, you know, maybe there's always going to be more to this story, or something else is going to come out, you know. I think that's a totally fair critique. What I don't think is a fair critique, by the way, chat, and this is the one that I'm going to push back on, to the people who are like, Lance is doing this because he's simping. He's simping. This is not. First off, you can have friends who are women. It's okay. It's awesome, actually. It's super based. It's super awesome to have friends who are women. And also, standing up for women in general doesn't immediately mean that the only reason is you want fuck. Like, yes, what do we get to fuck now? And if you really want to push this whole kind of like, I was being led astray to, and I know this is for internet trauma and everything, you could say the same thing about when I saw the Clicks video for the first time. I was like, oh, this is an incredibly gorgeous human being. He's very beautiful. Am I being swayed by that in and of itself? Am I not like going to listen to the arguments that come out right afterwards? Am I not going to hear, you know, what happens? It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. I see people in the chat saying for anybody who might be confused, I don't know how y'all have missed it at this point. If we're finally up to date, I don't know how y'all don't know what's up. But basically the summation is Blair has been accused, and a significant amount of evidence that has not been rebutted has been presented to show that Blair basically has a pattern of abuse. She seems vengeful. It seems like she has a pattern. She has a pattern of being vengeful towards content creators in her path. That's what it seems like. Like that's what the accusations are. People who've worked with her. It seems like that from watching a million exposés. It seems like what it seems like perceived slights lead to massive.
And there's also a power imbalance here as well. First of all, if any of you just told us that she was a landlord, she would have been gone like that. I didn't know we had a landlord in our midst, okay? That is a non-starter for me. I think that as leftists, we failed by admitting a landlord to the podcast. Finding that out was mind-blowing.
The landlord thing is the thing we find most horrifying of the things we've learned.
No, not most. No, not most. It would have got my attention quicker. But like overall, going through
the landlord thing for
we can go through. I think it is important to go through some of it.
I don't care about. I mean, I'm not a landlord, but I don't give a shit about that. I mean, whatever.
It was the deleting. It was really, you know, a lot of shit made my like hair stand up. Like what made me, like I said, I'm really prepared to. I said to all of y'all, I was like, oh, for the one time, I'm like, I'm really the audience was right, and that we need to look into it. I see what they were saying as far as like, yeah, right, like this is something we need to address.
It wasn't just drama. Like it was way more than drama. You know, and that's our fault for not. Yeah, it's and again, we are in a position where we are constantly presented with drama, and a lot of it is bad faith. So, when we're on this massive platform, when you have 6 different leftists from different spheres of the internet, I mean, you have a lot of bad faith bullshit. So we kind of have to have that baked in solidarity by default. But in this instance, you know, their solidarity was kind of it was bad for us. And part of it is because like being in a group dynamic here like this with somebody who has very clearly had issues with groups in the past, that's why people were especially concerned, I think. Just to kind of go through. So like because my audience, it seems like a lot of my audience doesn't even know, just to give you a really quick rundown. So there was a bunch of allegations, but the biggest ones that stood out to me was there was this group called Sad Milk, and one of the members, Click, she essentially pedo jacketed him. She smeared him. She paid people to dig up dirt on him. She had sock puppet accounts harass him. And, you know, think of the Jimmy Dore libtard 01 situation on steroids, exponentially worse. When it comes to Wonder, watching his full video, like I watched a bunch of recaps and then I watched Wonder's full video, and the recaps didn't do it justice. The Wonder video broke my fucking heart. I really identified with him because he was in this position where he was very young. He was 19 years old. She was his landlord. She controlled his transportation. She controlled a lot of elements of his life. And the problem with like having your employer be your landlord and control so much of your life is they can take away your entire livelihood like that. It's not just your livelihood, your housing. And basically that happened to Wonder. He lost everything and it nearly drove him to the brink of suicide. And then she took that and she used that against him in his video when he talked about how, and this part really struck me in Wonder's video. Wonder talked about how he told Blair he was trying to unalive himself. He was looking for the keys to his dad's gun cabinet. And her response to Oz Media, and Oz is somebody who kind of covered for her and brought all the receipts, was that, well, I don't know what the reason was effectively why he did this, but I'm just concerned for myself. Not even taken into any concern his personal safety. And she kind of framed it as a wellness check when she called the police on him. Wonder shared how, telling the police there's a suicidal man that could put me in danger, even though I was suicidal there. It's just, there's a lot. And again, like, to me, it's not just simple drama. This goes beyond drama. It's abuse. And it reminds me of like a textbook DARVO case, which DARVO, for those of you who don't know, is an acronym for Deny, Attack, Reverse Victim Offender, where instead of just owning up to something and apologizing, you flip it and you make yourself the victim and you go on the offensive. And now watching their videos and juxtaposing that with Blair's response and seeing that again, it feels more like that to me. Although I'm not a psychoanalyst, so I can't say any more. But like, this is very serious, and I feel really, really bad for the people involved, especially Wonder.
Yeah.
No, I haven't spoken much on this because you guys are saying everything I'm agreeing with. Like, this is from my perspective. I think it was said earlier. Like, I just didn't think anything of this until I saw it. Like, I think it was like we were like 3 weeks into it, and she hadn't been on the show for those weeks either. Like, she took time away. And I was seeing comments and still comments. I'm like, all right, I guess this is for real. Let me look into this. And then when I finally watched a couple of videos, I was like, oh, okay, this actually is serious. And again, we have the perspective of seeing bullshit, ongoing bullshit all the time, whether it's on Twitter or wherever, about, all of us at some point. So it's hard to know what to take seriously when it's about personal drama between two people, because there are other criticisms that we're trying to compare to, like, oh, you guys went after Anna, like it's just so stupid on so many levels because
it's not the same,
like not even close to the same. That is a something that was said publicly on Twitter that on its face we could all like be just by seeing what was written that we didn't agree with. It's much different than knowing what is happening between personal relationships between individuals. Like, those are not the same at all, because we have no sight on what is going on in those relationships, right? Meanwhile, when it comes to a public post, it's very easy to see what's going on there. So again, it took a while for
also the
us to
Anna
take this
situation. The Anna situation was an issue, like a issue we could discuss. It was, it's not one that I wish she had, but it's nonetheless an issue that can be discussed. Like, if Illuminati had said what Anna said, she wouldn't have disappeared for 3 weeks. Would have requested she come on the show so we could have this debate about this important issue. This wouldn't have been something that would have been, we got to wait for it to see what happens, or you should step away. Where she's the one who actually, really though, people should know this. When this first happened, she's the one who wanted to step away. We stood by her at first from what we knew, because this stuff hadn't all come out, and it was the legal eagle stuff, and we were like, you don't need to step away. Just come on the show. What's wrong? But she was very insistent about stepping away.
Yeah, I want to let the record reflect. I told her to address this. Like, my behind the scenes was, come on the show. My position was always that if you are running essentially, and the internet wants to address you about something and they feel like you're running away, you have a live show every Thursday, they're only going to hunt you down. You need to come address it. That was always my position, and it always was. But again, I didn't have the context of what the situation was, and I want to echo a lot of the earlier sentiments. The Anna Kasparian thing y'all are doing, that's a false equivalent with the situation in its entirety, and I don't even feel like addressing it. And as far as the Blair stuff, listen, it's very frustrating, because y'all have to understand, we're doing a live show across a bunch of different platforms. We have to look at a bunch of live chats and comments and things that get in your head. People are literally swarming our chats. They're being it's stressful, right? And then there are a lot of people who do not and have never watched our show. Now suddenly they're watching the show, you know, screaming at us, saying all these negative comments about us, you know, in the audience because we haven't responded to this or blah blah blah. But they have no other context of us, no other life of us. It's very, we were wading through a lot, and trying to figure that out, and we're doing our best. And I think we're doing our best to be as transparent as humanly possible. I feel like a lot of other shows and places and stuff would not be having a conversation with you or anything like that. You know, we are trying. I feel like y'all should give us a little bit of grace. But yeah, I want to echo what Mike said, and I want to be like I said, I a few times, I want to be accountable at the audience. I think the audience was right to tell us that we should look into it. I don't think that makes us wrong for not realizing that we should have like looked at it and been, you know, super involved. But I do appreciate that y'all insisted and that we took the time to go look into it, because I see that it is a much bigger thing. Because I watch, like I said, I watch a lot of videos, and I kept learning more and more information and seeing that this is largely a pattern, and seeing like I haven't had any issues with it. But I think what I found were very striking is of the information that have been presented to me, because I have, like I told y'all, I have talked to Blair, and since all this has happened, I talked to her. What was being given to me just did not at all present what was, you know what I mean? I felt very like, what the fuck? Like, hey, what the fuck? When the fuck did I enter the Game of Thrones? I was blown away. I'm like, what is happening? Like, I'm like, you know, so. Like
you know what this made me realize? I would be so shit at the Game of Thrones. I was like, when this was all going on, I was like, oh my god, I would love to think that I was going to be some kind of, like, you know, bisexual god king, like the Viper or some shit. No, I would get rolled. I would get so rolled. There's like so many moments where I'm just like, wait, what? Because I'm too trusting. I would get manipulated.
Honestly, I'm pretty good. I had everybody's reactions, like everybody in Leftist Mafia pegged for how we'd respond in different situations and stuff. The thing about the Blair situation is I'm not paying attention to Blair, because Blair, you know, has only ever served she's a triangle. We don't see her in the first place.
Right. We don't know what she looks like.
10 minutes collectively the entire show, you know, and so she serves more moderator-ish when she's here, and she's pleasant in those interactions. So there's really no reason for me to assess her, you know what I mean? To like be thinking about her in a deep level. And so, you know, we've only.
Meanwhile, she was Littlefinger the whole time. She was playing behind the scenes.
Littlefinger's Cersei, nigga, Cersei. I'm so sorry. I was like, yes. Hey yo, like, and I had to like go to like me and Lash had pretty much been on like, well, you know,
I would have been cut in season one. I wouldn't make it past season one.
I had to go to Lash on Saturday and be like, no, dead ass, hold on, wait a second. I think we were. I literally went. I said, we might. I hate it. But David Dole might be right. I was like, let me go to the chat and get home. David and Binder had this.
Maybe you should give more credit to me in my chat from now on. Then I think that's what should happen.
Let's not get
you're beating the racism charge.
Let's not get ourselves. But I will give you credit. I will acknowledge. I did come I told y'all in our official meeting. I said, wait a second. I have a new opinion. I watched the videos. I said I have a new opinion. I am totally prepared to embrace humility and say, when you get more information, you can come to a different conclusion. I see what's up. It's real fucking crazy. For me, it was the Wonderstruck stuff really blew my fucking mind. And I also was really like, I hated for my own self that I'm just so busy and not thinking about it that I missed it was an oversight. Because if I had been paying attention, it should have immediately alerted me. Why would a CEO or why would the boss be, you know, buying the car and all these different things? Like, it's so obvious once it's exposed and once the receipts, like, you know what I mean, what's happening there. But I just didn't fucking think about it like that. From my perspective, how it was being presented to me was very like, look at what I've done for this person, and this person is doing this to me. And I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? And I also think, you know, I wished throughout this whole, well, I don't wish, honestly, because I think everything needed to happen. It seems like this has happened for a long time. This is a long whatever. And this is not any, I don't got no personal beef with Blair Illuminati. I hope they figure out, I hope, not wishing any ill on them. They could do it however they want. But this is just what my objective thoughts are on the situation. If it were my client, I wouldn't take it to trial, is what I'm saying, based on that's what I've seen. You know, it seems like this has happened for a long time, and because of power, you know what I mean, and having a large platform, it hasn't been exposed in this large of a way. But it seems like Wonderstruck got the got the strength to come forward because the click did, and then everybody else did with their platforms, and that's the only reason why it's like this. And I think that that situation needed to happen. And maybe if we had been paying more attention from the beginning, it wouldn't have, because if I'd been paying more attention, I would have told her never to tweet the legal stuff. But I wasn't paying attention then. You know, like when that happened. No, Binder said, yeah, but I couldn't. Here's what you have to understand: if you're not in this world, it's like this kind of. I don't know people who do things like this. I couldn't even conceive that someone's doing shit like this. This blew minds. Like I literally went to the group chat. We went like, hold on. This is scary. I see why they're telling us we should be concerned. But I couldn't conceive of that. So I was fucking shocked. Okay. I didn't fucking know.
Yeah. Blindsided. We were blindsided.
Yeah. I didn't know.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And I just want to say that like
supportive. I was trying to be like very supportive to them. I'm a defense attorney, right? You know, I just mind like okay, people are fucking, you know, that's what I assume, blah blah blah. But once I seen, I said, all right. And
you can't like unsee it. You know, yeah. One thing that Lance said that resonated with me in his apology video is that like he kind of puts too much trust in people that he's like friendly with, and I absolutely do the same thing. It really resonated with me because, like, you know, all throughout the years, I've had these shitty connections that I had to sever. You know, Jimmy Dore, H.A. Goodman from the very start of my career as a YouTube commentator. So it's just part of the process. But like it's so difficult to differentiate good faith from bad faith criticism. And I think that's why a lot of creators end up becoming really hard-headed and doubling down. But like, we're not those types of creators. We actually do absorb criticism, even if it is difficult sometimes, even if I admittedly felt cognitive dissonance, but we're trying to learn and grow, and just going forward, you know, we we'll try to do better.
Like we need to normalize this idea. Like I am so for, especially people with large platforms, you know, coming out being like, I was wrong, or I fucked up, or hey, by the way, I also deeply believe in restorative justice. So it's like anything else. I think like this idea of, hey, on the one end, you have been like credibly accused of something versus, well, why does the public like response have to be so calculated and then meticulous, and then start this entirely new like drama cycle and all that kind of stuff? Yeah,
it's one of those situations quite make sense. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like I said, on one end, I feel a little bit like, damn, like, you know, I knew it didn't make sense, and there were certain conversations we were having like I'm like, wait, what? You know, I kept insisting like, I don't feel like this is the route. Why are you so insistent on this route? But I get it. It's consistent with this larger, vengeful Cersei Lannister shit. And like I said, if I'd been paying more attention from the beginning, I think we would have probably put a stop to. I didn't realize that they would ever, even if they thought like the legal thing, I didn't realize that like not jumping in and stopping them from thinking that would lead them to go on a Twitter thread and do all that stuff. Like, because there are lots of things that happen, or you think things, or you talk about other people or content creators amongst other people, but you don't go and make a Twitter thread. Like, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't think like not jumping in and being like, hey, this absolutely doesn't appear to be plagiarism. I swear to God, it doesn't seem to be. Needed to happen in order to stop a Twitter thread. You know what I mean? And then by the time Lance was telling me like, hey, big Illuminati drama's happening in my mind, she said somebody copied a style in a video. However serious could the drama and the fallout from this be? That's what I'm thinking. And so then, you know, I'm like the way it's presented to me was like there was this just pre-existing drama with a few people that you're like friends with that you needed to address, and that's what I thought was happening. I thought they were doing all these other horrific, horrible things, and like if I had seen their videos, if I had seen their things, her video would have seemed nuts to me from the jump, because I would have realized she's not even saying shit in it for real, other than just disparage. Nothing that they said was ever addressed or blah 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 blah. And like I said, you know, I've been I was nice to Blair behind the scenes about all of this, and I wouldn't have gone and cussed her out, but I would have told her, hey, nigga, you seem dead wrong, guilty, so you should apologize. Like I would have said that, you know what I mean? I would have been like, you should do that, my guy. You should like address that and take that route. But I didn't know anything about it to address from that level. I could only go based on the information I had, and I didn't know that, like, again, I didn't know I was in the Game of Thrones like that. I'm sorry. So
well, and to be fair to you, Ole, like since the beginning of our show, when we announced our show, you were presented with a bunch of like dirt on us. Oh, well, did you hear about the Humanist Report and Rational National? They're fake leftists. You had to navigate that from the very beginning. Who people hate the fuck out of us. So and you didn't have any context because you were in a different internet space than we were. So like it's been constant.
So yeah, exactly. And that's what I thought. It's like from the minute we announced the show, which to me is like, this is just supposed to be a pleasant, fun time, blend these different, areas of the leftist spectrum of platforms and stuff. It was always negativity and people being like, I can't believe Olay is with such and such. I can't believe Olay is with this one.
She sold out fast.
Yeah,
I remember.
I don't know. I think Olay's taking the wrong message here. I think she's got to get on YouTube and search up David Dole controversy explained, the real dirt on Mike Figueredo. Everything you need to know about the Lance drama. I mean, that's the stuff's out there. You gotta dig in now.
Yeah, I just was like, I honestly, it was
time to do your due diligence.
I just was
Have you heard what I said about Tulsi Gabbard in 2020?
Listen, in my mind, I've always tried to some level, I treat everything that I do like these are projects. And they are not like, I treat my own platform like Illuminati, my shit. And I heard somebody in the chat be like, oh, Lay modeled her name after. You might be new to me, but like Illuminati is the name of my Substack and my stuff that I've had for years. That's been my brand before I knew Blair existed. So respectfully, she didn't come up with Illuminati. I know you know that. Right? So, I'm like, but I treat my own platform as something I have to be responsible for. There's a reason why I don't like stream Leftist Mafia. That is my show. Like, obviously this is all of our show and I feel that or whatever, but it's not the way my show, I consider that where I'm responsible for. That's why I have a pre-written show. I don't live stream. I don't do those things. I like to create a little like universe that I could be responsible with for in the four walls. And I try to not take this on.
Olay does this show on the DL. She doesn't want her audience to know that she does it.
You're ashamed of this?
Yeah, so basically though, I was like, that was basically no shit to be fully candid with y'all. Lance came to me about this, like, this is bad. This is affecting all of us. I was like, speak for yourselves. Speak for yourselves. My audience knows nothing about this. I literally thought I was like, I'm feeling a little siloed from the problem, Lance. So I'm sorry.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like the more you like everyone kept saying that, and correctly, by the way, like, go watch this video. My Reddit was like flooded with a whole bunch of things where it's like, please watch this. And yeah, it does take a long time, which is one of the reasons why I think everyone here wanted to wait, obviously, to like, give a very fair opportunity to Blair. I don't have any personal like super negative experiences at all, having worked with her. So allowing enough time to go by for her to either make a statement or come back or whatever it's going to be. Right. I think there was a pretty long grace period in between that. And then, here we are.
I mean, we should, we to be completely open and honest, like, we had that discussion. Lance told her what we were thinking, and she accepted the news. She was the one who, did. I think she was the original like Discord creator of the Leftist Mafia Discord. She handed that over, no problem. We had no issue personally, the five of us, with her, even when the split happened. So, we can't add to, there'll be no like the drama between Leftist Mafia and Illuminati explained videos, because it was a fine split, just to be completely open and honest with everybody and transparent here.
Yeah, she never did anything to us. Other than Lance, other than lying.
Yeah, it was one of those breakups where it's like, it's you, not me,
I just feel a little bit like I will say, I was talking to my friend about this in the park on the weekend, right? Because I was really explaining the magnitude. Because I had to change my flight from Puerto Rico to come back for this.
That's how serious she's taking this. That we're all taking this.
Because even still, people are still not pleased. Like I'm reading the chat and I'm like, bro, I swear to God, I'm taking this serious as I could. Like I delayed all my shit this weekend. We spent so much time on this. Like David has a child. Binder has a child. They had to go get David has a his child. We had to stop, watch videos.
Let's have weekend meetings where we discuss it, like watch hours and hours of this video.
I believe early because my parents were coming over, like randomly.
I just want to point out that, as I said, there won't be any like explaining the Illuminati issue. As I said that, I'm looking at each of your titles, and Mike Figueredo has the most live stream viewers, and that's because he titled this episode addressing the Illuminati situation.
I should have done that.
I didn't check how many.
Usually David Dole has the most, and I'm usually shocked that me and Mike are close in number because he has so many more subscribers. To be fair, I usually live stream. He usually uploads videos, so that could be the discrepancy there. But I'm looking over at Mike's video and I'm like, holy shit, he's almost got 1,000 viewers. And it's because he's the only one of us who put addressing the Illuminati situation in the title.
Listen, after weeks of people in the chat saying, hey, you need to talk about this, like, I want it to be clear. We're fucking talking about it. Yeah. Finally, please understand this is what's happening.
Yeah. So back to what I was saying, I was talking to my friend in the park, and I was like, you know, as a defense attorney, if my client is guilty, that's not a problem. I'm going to represent them in the same way. Yeah, so they have to tell me though, because that changes how I represent them. You know what I mean? Because if your client you can't go up in court talking about, woo, my client is innocent, my client is a wronged man, and they have a video of your client doing the shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I think what was boggling for me was the magnitude of innocence that had been being, you know, pled. Like if it had just been like, hey, I'm Circe, I'm Circe. And people who fuck with me, they get Circe'd. You know what I mean? Like that I would have known that's what's happening. But people were pleading a whole lot of innocence. And I told Lance, I was like, bro, I've never seen so much discovery in my life. I've never seen so many. Like I went to Lance, like, listen to me, Lance. Listen, Lance. There are receipts. Like there are lots and lots of receipts. So I'm just like, I just hate that I'm like, you know, you put me, I would have like at least tell us, my God, like it could let us know that this meteor was heading our fucking way. You know, I just didn't, it wasn't presented to us at any point like, hey, this shit is some shit that's so serious it's going to be imputed to y'all. This is not just individual drama I have going on or whatever. I wish I would have liked a fucking heads up. You know what I mean? But
I mean, we were all weekend, like we were sending each other resources. Me and LA were going back and forth. Like, did you hear about this shit? And she's like, no, I saw this video. And she sent me, and I'm like, no, I watched that one too. Like, this is so, like, there's so much. It's genuinely overwhelming. Yeah, it's overwhelming. You know, I spent like the entire weekend watching this and getting educated because you all said it was serious, and holy fuck, you weren't wrong. And it's not like I did do some research beforehand, but not as extensive as I did last weekend, to where I was like genuinely like getting caught up watching the actual videos, not just the recaps. And yeah, it was mind blowing. It was.
I'm polling my my audience right now in chat because I'm just curious. I asked, did you know about the Illuminati drama before we addressed it just now? Yeah. So far, yes is winning 60% to 40%. So because I was just curious, because like
I'm curious too.
This is something that, if you're a casual watcher, if you don't like read the chat, you just like watch, you know, one of us, you don't know that side of the internet where, you know, Illuminati is. Mm-hmm. Like, why would you know about what the hell's going on unless you're reading the chat and really engaged in, you know, her content? So, but it appears that a lot of people were aware. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Honestly, you know, I see there are people in the chat frustrated that we're talking about this, but honestly, we're in trouble already for not talking about it already. You know, we don't have a choice. We have to address it.
People are going to be happy, unhappy, regardless
of
what we're.
Yeah. I feel like honesty is the best policy. So this is something that we're addressing, and then we're going to move on with the show. But you know, we have to.
Which, by the way, I'm sure maybe soon we can move on. But I do want to get to at some point Trump's reaction to Ron DeSantis announcing, because I watched one video and I just laughed my ass off, and there's like 4 videos, so I want to see what else he said.
What was really shocking to me was that, you know, I listened to that Ron DeSantis space and he didn't address the Illuminati situation once. Couldn't believe it.
Deafening on that.
Could not believe it.
Responsibility.
Speaking of, I watched some guy cover our reaction to it, talking shit, and they were like, any comments on like because when I jump in and I'm like, oh, I don't know, and I don't know nothing about this, and Mike is like, because I was like, I don't know where, and Mike was like, oh, they didn't even know Ben Shapiro and this person, and he's like, oh, how are you gonna be a political commentator? And I'm like, nigga, you don't watch this show. You showed up. You literally admit you're only here because of the seriousness that is fucking Illuminati. Give me a fucking break, you self-righteous bitch. Because I like Ben Shapiro's not the staple of my political fucking focus. Like,
I'm sorry that you have to apologize for having a life, Ole, okay, not knowing Ben Shapiro. How dare you?
I was like, they were like, I was like, oh my God, this chat is, I was like, this is way worse than David Dole's chat ever could be. I ran over to Rashford.
Oh, Ole dunking on the chat now. Ole dunking on David Dole's chat.
My chat loves you, but I don't know. They're gonna start turning at this point.
No, I love.
Hey, only one of the people in this room, only one of our chats made a beautiful emote of Olay in animated Dragon Ball form.
Yes.
Only one. And
that's called simping. All right, Matt, simping over there.
Yes, that's absolute facts. All right, so I see there are people in our chat that somehow feel like we haven't. I felt like we apologized. Like I like a million.
Oh my God! Are you
first things we did?
They gotta be effing around at this point, right?
Yeah, y'all are, okay. Yeah, we did our best.
We're 45 minutes into this podcast. This is all we talked about.
Yeah, and I told you I did research. I changed the flight. I came here, making a whole announcement. Apology. Like I don't know what else I could do.
We have to finish it off with a blood sacrifice.
I said I had it wrong. Okay, I didn't, or I didn't fucking know. All right, all right. At the very least, because I didn't have a position for real, I just didn't fucking know. I'm like, y'all had it right. Okay, got you. I told you.
Yeah,
there we go.
You had it right.
None of us are prepared for like being a like public personality. It just happens. So like we're not PR or media trained. Like we're human beings and we kind of roll with the punches. And we just, sometimes you take an L, you eat shit, you apologize, you move on. That's part of the game. So we're addressing it. We're severing ties, and going forward, we're not going to be a part of that shit. So
Yeah, it was the deleting. I forgot. I just got to move on. I'm just going to say the crime of deleting YouTube videos was nuts. I don't know if y'all saw that, of logging into Old Boy's channel and deleting videos. That right there, I was like, I would have been out for blood. So yeah. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, I just want to also add that, like, I think everyone here takes the responsibility very seriously. I totally agree with every single person who's like, you have platforms, what you say and do is important and matters. And like, I completely accept that. In addition to that, I don't think anyone here was intentionally in any way trying to ignore anyone's like, comments or criticisms or all that kind of stuff. I think everyone was basically trying to take in as much information as possible, wait to make an appropriate response, and give a large window of kind of like, good faith in the opposite direction, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if I were in a position where I was undergoing drama, I would hope that everyone here would give me like some time to prepare receipts and respond to it and not just like jump the gun. So we're trying to be courteous of somebody who was a colleague, so hopefully you all can understand that.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable situation. It sucks all around. Like, we had to take shit because we were, associated with Blair, but hopefully you can understand that, like, we weren't afraid to call it out or condemn it. It was never about that, so just
we just didn't understand the magnitude of what there was to condemn.
Right.
And yeah. So yeah, we got y'all. Like I said, we appreciate the audience. I wanted to start. we acknowledge, we love our audience, the ones who have been watching the whole time, not y'all new niggas who just came in here to give us fucking shit.
People, I don't care about those people at all. The ones that came in, hey, I'm just here for the Illuminati drama. How dare you not denounce her? Like, what the?
They literally
you come from?
They literally be like, "This is my first time ever watching, but you owe us." Excuse me.
Yeah. All the regular viewers are like, "Move on. Why the fuck are you still talking about?"
Like, this Olay person. I'm like, if that's your position, you shouldn't be here. Okay, what you're telling me, this Olay person, leave. You don't watch this show.
Right.
Like, fuck you.
See how we get gaslit, regular audience, by non-audience members? And listen, one last thing before we end this, just to show you how committed we are to, not associating with terrible people. This is the last episode with Matt Binder. We've all agreed collectively.
Finally.
No, we love Matt.
It's so freeing.
We love Matt.
Yeah. Binder. No. I do think it's really, really funny. Binder acknowledged when Lance spoke to Blair for us, but for a second we were like, you saw Binder spoke for the court tonight. For a second we were like, I mean, Binder, you could do it. Binder was like, yeah, I'd be fine to address the audience, but I think I've never talked to.
I never talked. How weird would it have been if my first conversation with her in private was like, hey.
No kidding.
I mean, yeah, Lance got us in this mess. It's Lance to get us out.
It's fair.
No, I saw some kid's video. It didn't have no views on it. It was like a video about like fuck me and Lance, like our face on it. And I was like, look at what has happened. Like, look at my face on videos I did not make.
If you search for your channel name on YouTube, it's a horrifying experience. Bro. After you get past your own channel. Like it's horrifying.
It's not healthy. It's not healthy.
No.
When you know whether or not they like you or dislike you based on the picture they choose to make the thumbnail. Like I'm like, listen, you disrespectful bitch ass. Like, hey.
I do the same thing though. When I make videos about right-wing ghouls, I'm like, get that perfect freeze frame where like one of the eyes is half closed and they look like super silly.
See, that don't even be my brand of disrespect on the thumbnail. I spend my entire episode disrespecting them, but like in dramatic editorial fashion.
You don't need to be petty. I'm petty.
I do that too, honestly.
We'll talk about Trump and DeSantis, and I'm gonna.
Yeah. So I feel like we've addressed that, and we can all move on with our lives. One thing that people are probably curious about before we move on is are we gonna get somebody new? We're just gonna fly with 5 of us. Maybe in the future we'll add somebody, but for now
I think it's just honestly 6 is.
We were thinking of people. You know, we wanted to go the no drama route, so we were thinking of people to bring on, and we, some names that went around, no drama. We're thinking Vosh, maybe Brianna Joy Gray,
Jimmy Dore, maybe bring him on.
Jimmy Dore.
It's just not going to be a front-loaded package. There's not a lot of stuff to decompress. It's going to be great.
Right. Who else? Yeah. No. The I'm trying to think
Virgil
of
Texas,
other.
or bring him back.
Virgil Texas. Right. Yes.
We're starting a brand new chapter of drama.
Destiny, of course. These are all top contenders.
I want to let the record reflect. Like, I never used to be in no fucking problems. I've never seen I never used to be in no problems before I started hanging with these white men. Who's the real problem?
I emailed Aiden Ross, let him know that there was a spot available on the show.
I actually
Kim Iverson.
I don't even know who he is, but I mentioned him in my episode on Alert Naughty. I'm dropping tomorrow.
If we're just gonna go on a mini Aiden Ross thing, there's so many funny things. So he said on stream that he has jerked off to his own sister. Yeah.
Oh god.
Wait, no.
We're all demonetized now.
Rightfully so.
Listen. We just spoke about how in the leftist space you're going to find out things like this, and it's it's expected. I mean,
just so you all know, my mom sometimes watches this show. I'm not saying you should stop talking the way you're talking.
I'm so sorry.
But just be aware.
David's mom, we're so sorry.
You've done very well. You've done so well. He's an absolute darling human being. Well done.
We love your son. We're so sorry. Yeah. He does not represent our views. We don't speak for him.
Anyways, what happened in the news this week?
Target.
Well, we should talk about DeSantis, right? Let's play the DeSantis clips, right?
We've got to play that Trump clip.
Yes, okay. But hey, can I quickly give a shout out to Mike, who put out a fucking banger of a special on the whole controversy right now surrounding like Target employees getting death threats and like the
thank you,
folk, because the journalists, the so-called journalists, I know we're entertainers, this is an opinion piece, but the so-called journalists are sleeping on this fucking story. This is acts of terrorism that is getting amplified by a whole bunch of fucking right-wing figures. This is how you have to frame it. This is how you explain it. This is how you people are getting death threats. People are worried about their employees because of this, and now they're amplifying that and saying, oh well, like Charlie Kirk today tweeted, like they're siding with the groomers. Look, here's a leaked internal email that shows like, yeah, we're worried about the safety of our own employees. Target is like, yeah, we don't want people to come in and hurt the fucking people who work here. And then meanwhile, Charlie Kirk goes off, like publishes that shit. Like it's been so normalized. That's the part that scares me about this, and that's why I love your video, Mike. Like honestly, it's like,
thank you so much.
I want people to wake the fuck up to a lot of it.
Yeah, and just to be clear, this is not a new phenomenon. Like, I've worked at retail before as well, and there were people who confronted me about specific things. Like, for example, when I worked at Blockbuster, I'm dating myself here, but like when The Black Swan came out, a customer confronted me because when I rented her that movie, I didn't let her know that there was a lesbo scene in it. These are things that are going to be an issue so long as we have racists and homophobes. They're going to berate employees. But what needs to happen with Target is they've got to put in resources for their employees. They need a corporate line that the customers can call and bitch to. They need to get extra security, allocate more labor to each stores, especially in red areas. But one of the, and this is I wish that I found out about this before I uploaded my video. So one of the main terrorists who goes around Arizona in particular, Ethan Schmidt, who is harassing Target and whatnot. I had no idea that it was. So I made jokes about how he's closeted, right? And when he finally fucks a guy, the world is going to hear him bust. That's how repressed he is. It already happened. The dude was outed in 2022. He was caught on some gay dating app talking about how he wants this daddy to spread his ass. I'm not going to. David's mom watches
this show, just to
sorry,
reiterate.
sorry, David's mom. I'm so sorry, but very explicit. And the response apparently was that he was just there hunting for pedophiles. I'm just going to give everybody a little bit of advice. If you're trying to find out if somebody is a pedophile, you don't need to ask for pictures of their penis. Just to put that out there. So yeah.
So I don't understand. So he was actually outed a year ago, and he's still doing this anti-gay shit. I don't.
Still doing it.
He's making videos where he's like, "I'm gonna fucking hunt them. I'm gonna hunt the queers," and then uploading. It's just so scary that they not only think this in their minds, but they're willing to film it and then use this as a way to get more likes on fucking social media. The normalization of that is horrifying.
I guess I'm just amazed that this stuff doesn't stick to them. That
right.
That we didn't already know this. It wasn't obvious information that we all know about this individual for the past year, and he's doing all this shit still. I don't know.
Jesse Lee Peterson.
It feels how do we address people like this that are so clearly doing shit that is wrong on its face, even apart from their past, but that are individuals that are just clearly doing it for some other motivation, they have some deep-seated hatred of themselves, and people don't care that support his side. This is why I don't know. I had a mental breakdown on one of my videos this week covering Nikki Haley and her transphobe. So I did a video on Nikki Haley made some transphobic comments during one of her stops, and there was no reaction in the audience, and it was another example of just this ongoing bullshit that we've had to. I shouldn't say have to address, but that we've addressed over and over and over, and it doesn't stop. At what point do we should we keep addressing it? Because it's not having an effect. I'm just it's so much. It's a lot, and sometimes I wonder if us talking about these individuals is giving them more of a platform than they would have otherwise if we didn't acknowledge their existence.
I don't know how to address it either, and I commented about this on Twitter, but you addressing the mental health angle was very cathartic for me personally, because this whole week I've just felt nothing but depression, and as a result derealization, and part of it is just looking at my catalog, and it's just everything. It's about LGBTQ plus hate, even if it's just tangentially related. It's about that. And when you're part of this community, it feels like the weight of the world is just crushing you.
And to be clear, I just want to be clear, me covering it clearly, the impact on me is minuscule compared to the ones that are actually at the center that are being impacted. But just as someone, just in my position, someone covering it all the fucking time and seeing a new example of it, multiple examples every single day of these crazy, hateful individuals, it does. It makes me want to do something else, or just cover different stories. Don't just completely ignore all this shit and do something else. Yeah.
Did you see the video of the guy who Tim Pool and a bunch of the right were promoting today, who was talking about how the inclusion of trans colors within the pride flag is because they are pedophiles and what is it, maps part of and associating with some kind of pedophile normalization scheme or whatever. Turns out that same person had been brought to court for multiple different accusations of pedophilia, sexual contact with kids. One of the witnesses didn't show up, so it was eventually dismissed. But it's one of those people who basically gets out in front of the camera, says all these lies about trans people being.
Talk about Maj Touré. Maj Touré. Yeah, I had on a listener of my show, Rem. interrupted one of his speeches while he was on the Libertarian Party tour in Texas to confront him about an earlier tweet he had, basically claiming it's what got him suspended from his original account. His original account had like almost 200,000 followers on Twitter. He got suspended because he had a tweet saying, if you come and do a drag queen story hour in my town, I'm going to come and assault you. I'm going to attack you. I'm going to physically harm you. So he got suspended for that. And she approached him at an event, and he completely flipped out about it. So this guy is already off his rocker. Oh, he wouldn't let her. He basically said if anyone, I think he knew it was going to happen. So he said if anyone's here, at the beginning of his speech to interrupt me or something, let's do it. And so she stood up and basically he talked over her using the mic the whole time and didn't let her say anything, and just basically physically got off the stage and got up in her face. Tough guy.
You know what's really funny about that? Mike and David, both of you were kind of talking about the sadness of all this aspect. Is again, professionally, you cover this LGBTQ plus stuff. It's horrifying, right? That how bad it's been, but at the same time, it's so fucking cringe. The fascists are so cringe. That fucking Ron DeSantis, Elon Musk disaster of a fucking Twitter Spaces was so sad. It was so deeply, pathetically sad that I was like, this is the best thing working in our favor right now. In terms of the other side, hey, y'all are definitely doing some fascist shit. You're moving very rapidly towards some horrifying historical precedents right now, but also you're so cringe. It's so goddamn cringe.
And for me, though, that's also part of the frustration. It's do I need to explain this? Isn't it obvious that all these people are so fucking ridiculous? Does it really require, any explanation at all? And, that's why I have this crisis where it's is there a purpose to what I'm doing at all? When it comes to covering these certain things like that, it's just because to me, it's so obvious that if anyone saw this clown, I guess it's part of it is platforming what happened and what these clowns say, but it's just I don't know. Yeah. My thoughts aren't fully formed, so
it's just an uphill battle, and realizing how much of an uphill battle it is, it really makes you feel powerless sometimes. Where it's just I have the same thoughts as David. It's what is the point of talking about this shit? Am I just making people more depressed? Is there a real utility in constantly talking about these things? But I talk about it because I think about it all the time. You know what I mean? It's all over the news. This is the main issue currently that the GOP has decided on. So I don't, what's appropriate? We don't have the platforms to or I should say shift the discourse to a different direction. We can't change the salience. We can't change the narratives. We're small in the grand scheme of things. We have big platforms, but in terms of the overall discourse, it's so tiny, it's minuscule. Yeah. So it's what do you do given that information? And it's not just the news. I see the way that the news has a real world effect. A couple of weeks ago, I referenced how a trans family member is getting harassed by other family members. And you hear the talking points that they say from Fox News and stuff. I see exactly where it comes from. I have them fucking memorized. So, it just kind of eats away at you sometimes. And it's hard to process that, so you just got to tune out. Easier said than done though, because it's important. I feel to stay up on what's happening. So yeah, also, I'm with David on this. I don't know what to say.
It's important for people who don't have a voice, right, and who are powerless. And it's important for those people to know that there are people on their side, and that most people, I would think, would be on their side if given the right information. And it's just so because we don't have the power to really change the whole conversation around these topics. I really think of my position as just informing people on what is going on, giving them any resources where I can in terms of, how to address it or how to feel like they have power in their own lives. So it's really about, for me, it is information and hoping people have, or giving people that information about what is going on and arming them in any way that I can.
Also, when it comes to, this very vocal minority of Christian fascists, Christian reactionaries, far-right reactionaries, alt-right neo-reactionaries, neocons, whatever you want to label these different groups or factions, they're, under capitalism, very heavily funded, which is why they sound a lot louder than they are. The average person does not hate queer people. You know, like just broadly speaking, when you look at different demographics of different populations in the places where we broadcast from, there's not an overwhelming sentiment where everyone's like, well, we just don't want anyone to have rights. We don't have no civil rights for anybody. No, we can't have any of this. So it feels sometimes horrifyingly loud because they have so much money and capital to pour into fucking this industry. Like David said before, like there's no one on the left who just gets a fucking check. Like I know there's the George Soros meme or whatever. That shit doesn't happen. You know, like you are basically at the whim of Patreon and everyone else is willing to fuel your little entertainment empire. And we're so fucking lucky and blessed that we can do this. But at the same time, it's like, I don't get the fucking Koch brothers phone call. You know, I don't get the fucking like, hey, like the fact that Steven Crowder, what was it, like 50 million for 4 years? That's outside of external sponsorships. That's like that. Yeah. That's just money to produce your internet show. With
and it wasn't enough for him. He turned it down. And there's no that show. There's no research. It's all, and he's not even, forget even the research and all that. He's terrible on camera. He's terrible. There are people that are much more enjoyable to listen to who, I mean, I can't think of any of them, but I imagine there are people that are much more enjoyable than
Alex
Steven
Jones
Crowder
is more naturally talented and gifted. Alex Jones is a better entertainer as a person than Steven Crowder is.
Joe Rogan is more he's a much better,
interviewer
in that way. Yeah, so it's just, Crowder is like fucking talentless and no research, nothing, offers nothing, and offered 50 million over, what was it, like 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, like just completely insane, like just completely insane to turn that down.
Yeah, it's an unfair world. Like this month, I've been talking about how I've made $0 because I've been demonetized. I haven't even done a sponsorship. Okay, so but I'm still lucky enough to be in this position to where I can do this as my job.
I think you get a raid Shadow Legends. You get one pass to do a raid Shadow Legends where no one can fucking.
It would be
trash
raid.
Support, okay?
I saw one of those emails this week.
I get them every month.
But I don't want to have to play it though. It doesn't look good. I'm just being honest.
No, I will say, if I was sent one for, what is that game called? Honkai Star Rail or something? That one looks okay. It's like a turn-based RPG, but it's another, like, one of those, pay to win. But still, that one looks more fun.
To be fair, I would sell out for Tears of the Kingdom. I would do an ad for Tears of the Kingdom for sure. Because I played it. I endorse it.
He is. He's doing an ad right now.
Nice.
This is advertising.
Oh, I love that. That's amazing.
I got 2 Zelda shirts online, and this is one of them. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah. I love it.
So, should we do Ronnie?
But Elon Musk.
You guys are supporting a company that's very hardcore against people doing basically using the console however they'd like in terms of hacking the console and things like that.
This is not a Nintendo shirt. This is actually, I think, Dracula Byte is
what was it that happened? There's a guy who like created some like hacking.
Nintendo is terrible.
Nintendo's very
when it comes to that stuff.
And when it comes to when it comes to streamers too, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're out of their minds when it comes to all that stuff. I think one of the people they sue, that they have to give them a part of their paycheck for the rest of their life, basically.
Right.
That's insane.
It may have had. I think that has to do with the modding or something that he did in terms of that stuff.
Yeah,
but it's overboard. It's crazy.
Yeah. But I mean, with that being said, objectively speaking, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is a masterpiece. So
it is amazing.
You can't help yourself. You can't fucking help yourself.
Executives lawyers didn't make that game. Artists made that game, and that game is fucking incredible.
Yeah,
fucking incredible.
And look, let me just say, there's no ethical consumption under capitalism. Don't come after me.
I'm like 30 hours in. The hours melted away. It is completely amazing.
I haven't checked how far I am.
You can get lost. It's so good.
You can get lost.
Hey, I played Tears of the Kingdom when I researched my Illuminati videos over the weekend.
For the stream. There's also there's an amazing amount of art that is made just because people are huge fans of that property. Like Undertale has worlds within worlds within worlds, Simpsons, Sonic, all these other things where people are making full video games with soundtracks, playable characters. They make movies, animation, music, and all of this is just being done out of love. Like people are just creating all this incredible art. It's nuts. No profit incentive.
Yeah. People are talented.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
DeSantis. We've got to get to that.
So this week, Ron DeSantis announced that he. Wait, there's some crackling. There's some silence. Oh wait, that's his Twitter Space announcement that he is running for president. He actually. So this was leaked to the press a day before. I think it was leaked. I don't think they announced it. It was leaked to the press a day before the actual announcement that he'd be doing this partnership with Elon Musk on Twitter Spaces, and they would be launching. He'd be announcing his presidential run. And I have a video that I found on this, and then I'll get to Trump's reaction as well. But Bender, since you're super in this world with Twitter, do you want to give people just kind of like an overview of what the hell happened?
Yeah, sure. So Elon Musk did this Twitter Space with Ron DeSantis to set up to launch Ron DeSantis's presidential campaign. And apparently, they did no work at all to ensure that the Twitter Space would stay up. The weird thing about this is that they don't seem to have settled on a talking point as to why things screwed up. So to set the stage here, Elon Musk sets up this Twitter Space. I was in there very early on, and I noticed that around 250,000 people in the room, that's when there started to be issues. Now, they held the space for a long time. Like, they started it so people would join, but they didn't do anything for like 10, 15 minutes so people could join. But like around 250,000 people, my app started freezing. Twitter closed out on my app numerous times around that point. I had to keep going back. I had to keep relaunching the app and then going back in the space. Then finally, at around like 350,000 people, I think they started to talk a little bit, but there were so many issues of people cutting out. And literally at one point, Ron DeSantis got booted from his own campaign launch. And I think at the end of it, like, it reached a max of like 690,000 listeners. But again, this was a 21-minute, because the recording was available at the end, although Elon deleted his tweet sharing that recording. At the end, there was a 21-minute recording that included no launch information, voices cutting in and out over and over again, people being booted. It was basically 21 minutes of silence and them talking about the tech issues. And so eventually they had to relaunch the Twitter Space using David Sacks's Twitter account. And they claim the reason they had to use David Sacks's account, if people don't know, David Sacks is this tech VC who was one of the people who became, Elon Musk's simp when the transition was happening during the acquisition, right after the acquisition, providing free advice and help to Elon Musk's trend to take over Twitter. This guy is also a Ron DeSantis funder. He's held fundraisers for DeSantis. So David Sacks was going to be the moderator anyway, but he actually ended up launching the space on his own account. And according to Musk, the reason was because he has so many followers on Twitter, him creating the space overloaded the servers. And I think their like talking point was like, wow, Ron DeSantis, so many people wanted to listen to you that you melted the servers.
Yo,
this is like the type of shit you hear from like corporations in like 2008 when like the internet, the social media stuff on the internet was brand new and no one knew what this shit was. We are at the point now where you have taken part in like multiplayer video game events with like 12 million people playing at once. You've taken part in video live streams with 3, 4, 5 million people concurrently watching, if not more. And Twitter claimed that 600 some odd thousand people, and really I should go with the lower number because that's when the problem started, 250,000 people just listening to an audio only conference call basically was so much. Yeah. I said this on the majority report. I said this in the majority report earlier today. Ron DeSantis's historic presidential campaign launch was something that FDR was doing fucking 90 years ago.
Or the King's Speech.
With the fucking fireside radio chats.
We're all in agreement that Ron DeSantis is done right. Like Like
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No, DOA.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely
Okay,
DOA.
cool.
DOA. But hey, before I forget,
Go ahead.
Matt, one quick thing. Did you see David Sachs, who was like trying to act as if they accomplished something like, oh, the majesty, the numbers, I cannot believe we're hosting such a historic event.
They're lying. Number one, they're lying about the numbers being historic in any such way. And then number two, it's clear to me that Twitter's numbers are fucking bullshit. They're bunk. Any advertiser who's advertising on Twitter should immediately be suspect about the analytics and metrics they're getting from this company. And I'm not singling out Twitter's the only one who's done this. Social media companies have done this. Facebook got into a shit ton of trouble. They came out and said it was an accidental flaw in the system. Remember when all those publishers were pivoting to video because their Facebook video numbers were going through the roof? And they're like, holy shit, we all got to make video now. And then years later, Facebook came out and was like, turns out like you guys actually were only getting like 20 or 30% of those views you were actually thought you were getting. Our numbers were messed up. Our bad. But Twitter seems to be like purposefully doing this right now. Ian Miles Chong tweeted out, because I pointed out how weird it was that they're acting like this was historic when just last month Twitter did a Twitter space with Elon Musk and the BBC. Do you guys remember that BBC interview Musk did? It was a huge failure on the BBC's part, but they held it on Twitter Space, and I was in there. It was like at a midnight on like a random day, last minute. It was like a Wednesday night at midnight, and I was in the chat at one point, something like 2 million concurrent listeners in the chat. And I was like, oh man, that's great. 2 million. That's a Twitter record for Twitter Spaces. But then Ian Miles Chong tweeted out today that DeSantis actually had the record because everyone knows the Twitter Space numbers were having issues during the BBC interview and those numbers weren't real. And I was like, I didn't hear that. Where did he hear this? And then Elon Musk replies to him and goes, true. So, yeah, I don't think people have seen that. Their numbers.
I know about that one. I was up
the
in the
owners, the owner of Twitter. First of all, I don't get why you would do that, other than to pump up DeSantis. Like, is Elon Musk ready to shoot his own platform in the foot to help prop up DeSantis's integrity or whatever? It's very bizarre to see that. And then, second of all, and I reported this today in a piece earlier today, Twitter has removed the video views metric from the videos on their platform. I don't think a lot of people have noticed this. Twitter used to show how many views. Now this is basic stuff. Every single video platform, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, they show the video views. And yes, I've talked about the numbers being wrong with these platforms before, but then they end up actually fixing whatever the issue was when they discover it. But the video views are available publicly for all to see. It's a very important metric for a number of reasons. For the advertisers, it lets them know, hey, this platform is one to advertise on. And also it lets them know which videos and which creators to advertise with.
It's such a dog shit fucking video platform. It's the worst. If I had any alternative to using Twitter for a video, I will go somewhere else. It fucking glitchy, cuts in the middle. It fucking sucks.
But here's the thing though. Twitter has all these metrics on their tweets. And this one metric that everyone obsesses about is the tweet views metric because it's the highest one. The tweet views metric is the stupidest fucking metric on social media because a tweet is basically, first of all, it's not a blog post. It's not a video. The effort of viewing a tweet is literally, it shows up on your feed. That counts as an impression. It's not something you could even control. If the Twitter algorithm feeds you a tweet in the For You, the For You tab from someone you have no interest in, the fact that it shows up on your screen counts as a tweet view count. It adds a +1 just from the fact of it showing up on your phone with you doing nothing. You didn't go to it, nothing. That's a tweet view. That's an impression. So that's a bullshit metric to begin with. But before they remove the Twitter video view count metric, people were using the tweet view metric on tweets with videos embedded in them and trying to say, oh, look, that many people watched our video. But if you actually looked at the two metrics side by side, it would be like, 3 million tweet views, 100K video views. Because just because a tweet shows up on your screen doesn't mean that person is going to end up actually going and playing the video. And I should add as an aside here too, that on Twitter, a video view count is added if someone watches just 2 seconds of the video. So if you scroll by and it autoplays and you don't scroll past fast enough and 2 seconds of it plays on your screen, that's a video view count you just added to that video. So the DeSantis campaign is out there today using the tweet view count, saying they got 22 million views in 24 hours on their video on their campaign video announcement, but they removed the video metric from iOS and Twitter for web already. Thankfully, if you have the Android app and haven't updated it yet, the tweet video view metric is still there, and people have sent me the screenshots throughout the day. The 22 million view metric that the DeSantis campaign is boasting about, which is really just the tweet views, is actually just 5 million video views. So they are not doubling, not tripling, quadrupling the number of views the video has actually received, and saying that's how many people have watched DeSantis' big announcement. It is shady and misleading as hell. And I don't see how any serious video platform cannot show the actual video view metric on the videos without and take themselves seriously. You just can't.
Because they're not a serious video platform. And this is why, and this has to be at least part of the reason why the DeSantis campaign decided to partner with Twitter for this announcement, because they either they know the numbers are fudged or they think they're going to do amazing numbers because all the numbers that they've seen are fake. So
that's a good point, actually.
They're able to pretend that this is a massive launch when the real massive news was that this was a complete disaster in terms of his Twitter spaces. And so I do want to get to Ron DeSantis and his actual announcement in like video form, because it is so bad. I just want to get your impressions on this. And then I'm going to get to Trump's reaction as well, because he's in rare form right now. I got look, yes. Trump is a terrible person. We all understand this. But when he's attacking the right, it is wonderful. He does such a great job. It is so enjoyable.
Yeah.
Sorry?
He is a shitposting god.
Oh, I said fash on fash is my favorite violence. Like,
yes, fash on fash.
Especially watching all of the pundits have to like battle each other in their own mini wars. Like the Quartering was fighting Ben Shapiro on Twitter today over Ron DeSantis. It's beautiful.
I missed that.
Oh, here's this clown.
Beautiful.
Our border is a disaster. Crime infests our cities. The federal government makes it harder for families to make ends meet, and the president flounders. But decline is a choice.
Our cities.
Success is attainable, and freedom is worth fighting for. Righting the ship requires restoring sanity to our society, normalcy to our communities, and integrity to our institutions. Truth must be our foundation. And common sense can no longer be an uncommon virtue. In Florida, we proved that it can be done. We chose facts over fear, education over indoctrination, law and order over rioting and disorder. We held the line when freedom hung in the balance. We showed that we can and must revitalize America. We need the courage to lead and the strength to win. I'm Ron DeSantis, and I'm running for president to lead
is he
our
mispronouncing
great
his
American
name?
comeback.
I'm Ron DeSantis.
I don't know. Does he look like
I'm coming to lead our great nation. So I'm not sure if any of you saw this, but I did a video on Ron DeSantis sounding like the rabbi from Seinfeld, and I swear to God,
oh my God, I missed
it's come out even more in this announcement video. I'm just gonna bring up a clip I used in this thing here. Hold up. So here, right at the beginning. Actually, no. Let's go. Here.
Republicans need to shake the culture of losing that's developed in recent years.
I felt that George was somewhat of a loser. Deserved to be married first.
The time for excuses is over.
oftentimes in life there are problems, and just as often there are solutions.
It is the exact same cadence. Like, and the whole joke with that rabbi is that he's just like, a boring rabbi. And Ron DeSantis just has no charisma. He's absolutely terrible. And,
he has the anti-charisma.
Did you guys see the video they posted of his announcement from the Twitter space? But they edited the audio in with a bunch of random shots of like stock footage of Elon Musk. It's one of the weirdest videos
that one.
I've ever seen.
No.
It
you
is,
know what?
Let
me find that.
It truly is the most insane campaign-related video I've ever seen. Like, it makes no sense. It makes zero sense. It's so weird.
It is so... I'm surprised it's still up. It is so bizarre. Wrong one. Hold up. I
feel like Lance has got to see this too. Where did he go?
Yeah, Matt, really quick, I wanted to ask you, is it true, I saw this at the top of Reddit yesterday, is it true that somebody was accidentally made co-host in the spaces and then they ended the stream on Twitter?
I missed that because it was during the one where they were having all the tech difficulties. So I was getting kicked out and my app was dying. I don't know if that's true or not. If it was
Okay.
So here, this is the really weird one that Matt was talking about.
An honest reckoning about what happened.
Wait, is that the right audio? That is the right audio. Okay, it's their video. Okay.
Yeah, go to the actual. Go to the actual.
Yeah, play that.
Click the bottom one. Let's go to the actual one. Yeah, this.
Let me just.
Wait, no, that's not it. That's not it.
Sand, did they change it? No, this is it.
No, I got here. I'll send it to you. There's.
You have a different one. Okay, well, this one's also weird though. This is just like.
First, we need an honest reckoning about what happened during COVID. And the only honest reckoning is that all of those agencies, all of the elites, the public health establishment, they failed.
Oh, this is like that one. Right, here, use this one, though, because this makes more sense because it's actually like his campaign announcement, which makes it even weirder. Like, it's not him talking about an issue with, like, Musk or something. It's so bizarre because it's like a straightforward...
This is so weird.
Well, I am running for president of the United States to lead our great American comeback. Look, we know our country's going in the wrong direction. We see it with our eyes and we feel it in our bones. Our southern borders collapse. Drugs are pouring into the country. Our cities are being hollowed out by spiking crime. The federal government's making it harder for the average family to make ends meet and to attain and maintain a middle-class lifestyle. And our president, well, he lacks vigor, flounders in the face of our nation's challenges, and he takes his cues.
Oh, God.
How weird is this video? It makes zero sense. Why would you put these weird...
I can tell you as a former video editor what went on here. They because it's Elon Musk and DeSantis talking, they pre-made this video of montage of both of them, just thinking, oh, these two guys are talking. Here's both of them on video, without thinking of the actual content of what was going to be in the audio. So they
play the beginning one again too. One of the cuts to Musk. One of the cuts to Musk in the very beginning is pretty funny because he says something funny. Hold on, go ahead.
Well, I am running for president of the United States to lead our great American comeback. Look, we know our country's going in the wrong direction. We see it with our eyes. And we feel it in our bones.
We know our country's going in the wrong direction. We see it to our eyes. Cut to Musk with a big old smile on his face. I mean, this is really bizarre. It's so here's the real interesting thing about this. Like, people are knocking DeSantis for launching this on Twitter Spaces, and rightfully so. But let's just say, like, they saw this as a marketing opportunity. Connect DeSantis with Musk. Know that knowing that Musk is popular with the right now. Use Twitter Space to try to get people talking about, oh, he's using this offbeat sort of social media platform feature. All right, let's say that's their game plan. Use this as a marketing tool. They did not have anything prepared, though, in terms of, oh, we should also professionally record his audio locally while he's doing the Twitter Space. We should have some sort of behind the scenes video of him conducting the space with Elon Musk. They fucking ripped the horrible quality Twitter Space recording audio for his freaking presidential candidacy announcement. How insane is that? Like, even Donald Trump's people would have had someone recording Trump on the phone or something and like had him mic'd up to an actual like professional mic to get the actual audio recorded if Trump had decided to do something that insane. They did not prepare at all. Who is running this campaign? Who is behind the DeSantis campaign?
It's very amateur, and that's why Trump responded with some amazing videos. So I turned social. This, I assume this is in relation to the Twitter Spaces one, but I guess him generally. It's just an Elon rocket crashing. There you go.
So good.
Ruthless but boomer tier. I like it. It's a good balance between being boomer and ruthless. Yes.
Okay, the Spaces.
This one is. He's calling him Rob now. This is.
You've got to play the fake Spaces event that Trump shared.
That's the insult, Rob.
Yeah, he's calling him.
Rob sanctimonious and his whole.
Oh my god. He's too powerful.
Trying to say these are record falls. The question is, Rob just young, inexperienced, and naive, or more troubling, is he a fool who has no idea what the hell he's doing? We already have one of those in office. We don't need another one. We need MAGA. Make America great again. That's what we want. Make America great again. We have no choice. This is the last shot we've got at it. If we don't win this time, our country is in really big trouble. Thank you.
Like, look at that. Listen,
last time. That's why you're in this situation.
Like, look at the video. Like, look at Trump's video response that he got a few of these out throughout the day today. Dude has a professional video team with professional high quality audio. Like, this is a serious operation. Whatever you think about Trump, it's a serious operation. Ron DeSantis has someone that Ron DeSantis put out another video that like is really bizarre too. There's another one that's crazy. Hold on, let me find this one for you.
There's on the same account. Let me see.
Someone's like holding it handheld. It's all moving and everything, and he's talking, and they clearly didn't mic him to any sort of professional camera. To any professional mic. It's so bizarre. Like, what are you doing? Like this, and this guy had months. He was testing the waters for months. This wasn't a thrown together last minute decision. This was just so bizarre. Here it is. I found it. Here you go. I'll send it to you right now in the chat. Look at the handheld video, just moving all over the place. Listen to the audio quality. There's apparently millions of dollars behind this guy.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
I'm running for president of the United States to lead.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I announced that on Twitter Spaces earlier tonight, and it broke the internet because so many
people. Look at the wobbly camera.
The internet.
What?
It broke the internet. Oh my God, you losers.
Please go to rondesantis.com, donate to the cause, and I think it'll be a night to remember.
This is so weird.
God bless.
It looks like they bought an expensive camera. They just have someone who doesn't know how to use it and actually.
They could have easily fixed this by zooming out more, and then in editing, you can stabilize by zooming in and keeping a stable image. They don't know just the most basic editing shit.
Well, also, based on the visual of the camera, this camera most definitely has in-camera stabilization. So someone either turned it off.
The money went.
Right,
a good camera and got someone who doesn't know how to use it.
I'm so here for this pettiness. It's the best kind.
I mean, this isn't really petty though, because we're talking about these guys. Their whole shtick is that
I agree.
Their whole shtick is that they're the ones who have it all together. They'll get this company back in tip-top shape, and then did you see pull up Ron DeSantis' website? It looks like a fucking Tumblr page. It's the worst website I've ever seen, and the live donations that come in is actually just, you can refresh it as many times as you want. The same people keep showing up because they're pre-entered. They're not actually live social proof of who's donating. Look, just refresh. This is his official presidential campaign page. Refresh it for a second. All right, look, Mike in Gilbert, Arizona, Jacob in Titusville, Florida. The first two people will show up. Refresh it again. The same two people just showed up at the top.
This is an unserious nation. This is an unserious country. Everybody here is this is unserious.
Like scroll down. It's a Tumblr page. It looks like
this is a Tumblr
He's a
page.
more charismatic villain. That's what America. That's what's happening.
Oh my god.
With a better editor.
Does he have like an issues page? Like any...
Oh, click the. Is there a bio? Someone said the bio page is funny. Is there a bio page up there? Click click the arrow right there under hello, I'm Ron DeSantis. That one, yep.
Yeah. Third world country with a Gucci belt. I was gonna say the same thing.
That's perfect.
This is the same thing he said in the video. It's just his script from the video.
Right, yeah.
It's the exact same script.
Wow.
Oh,
I would
so
love to understand what the thought process was behind linking oneself to Elon Musk at this point.
Right?
You know what I mean? Like 9 months ago or something, maybe 10 months ago. But now, present day, it's like nigga, you're already losing. You felt
the
like
stock is so weak. It's the worst time to invest. It's the worst time to invest in the stock.
Yeah, I can't even understand it right now. I'm like, what?
Let's watch another Trump video because I'm curious.
David, before we move on, you have to also play the Trump fake spaces.
Oh, that's also good. Yeah,
that's really good. Yeah.
In December of 2017, Ron DeSanctimonious was polling at 5% in the Republican primary for governor of Florida. 5%. DeSantis had virtually no endorsements and was being drastically outraised by Agricultural Commissioner Adam Putnam, the widely viewed favorite. He was going to win. He was going to win easy. He was way up. Ron had zero chance of winning. On December 21st, 2017, a man named President Donald J. Trump endorsed in support of Ron DeSanctimonious. His polling skyrocketed. And DeSantis won the Republican primary 57 to 37. He was down so many points, and all of a sudden he wins by 20. He was already looking for jobs. But he did it because of President Trump. Thank you very much, Ron. Thank you very much.
Gotta read that. You know what's crazy? Trump is ass too. If we keeping it G real, like Jesus, like teleprompter whooping his ass.
Oh, of course, no.
Faces.
But next to this, that's why it's so amazing that next to DeSantis, he seems like he's professional.
And that's why the country is ashamed of itself. I really, as a person from a little island nation, this is offensive for this country to be. I'm sitting there like America. You know, I just saw an article yesterday about Kamala Harris is going down to the Bahamas to discuss shit with us, but how they can help us. I was like, how the fuck you can help us? Help yourself. Help yourself. And that's what I'm thinking about right now. I'm listening to this like, look at this. No, look at this. Look at this conversation.
And this is I'm not sure if a fan did this for him or like someone in his campaign, but so they got a bunch of AI voices to pretend they're each of these people in this fake Twitter space call. And this is actually pretty well done.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Ron DeSantis space.
Hello? Is my microphone working correctly?
George, can you just wait while we...
Hello? Can you hear me?
We can all hear you, George. Can you just hold on for a second?
Hilfa, I don't think they can hear me.
I can hear you fine, George. Just speak to
I don't think George knows how to use Twitter.
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Can I please make my big announcement now? Everyone just...
Hello?
Just shut up, George.
Can somebody just mute George?
I love this.
Dick, could you try not to cough on the...
Okay, so how are we going to take out Trump, you guys?
Guys from the FBI, this is not a private call. This is a public Twitter space. Everyone can listen in.
God damn it.
This is so fucking good.
Anyway, guys, we invited everyone to this this Twitter space so Governor Ron DeSantis could...
Everyone just shut the hell up so I can make my announcement, okay?
You go, girl.
Wait, the devil is gay?
So what? Everyone in this call is gay. You happen to know every single one of you has a secret gay lover hidden in your closet.
Guys, can we please just calm down?
He's so Ron DeSantis.
So anyway, guys, I just wanted to announce.
Yeah. Okay, I can hear the governor very well.
Shut up! Would you please shut up already? I'm running for fucking president. Okay?
Yeah, we kind of already knew about it.
Know, Governor. Congratulations, Governor.
Well, that concludes our Twitter space for today. Thank you to all of our...
Hold your horses, Elon. The real president is going to say a few words. The devil, I'm going to kick your ass very soon. Hitler, you're already dead. Dick Cheney sounds like you'll be joining Hitler very soon. Klaus Schwab and George Soros, I'm putting both your asses in jail. And Ron DeSanctimonious can kiss my big, beautiful 2024 presidential ass. Trump 2024, baby. Let's go.
I have to pause there because of that music. In case you're watching later and the music's cut out, you may not hear that last part, but that was very well done.
I gotta ask all my American friends here, what's going on? What's going down with American politics right now? Because I'm confused.
Well,
this seems like a cartoon.
First of all, it's pretty clear that Trump saw this meme created by one of his crazy fans and just ripped it. Like, that's not an official camp. Like, they didn't come up with that. They're not that.
There's no way.
They're not that unique.
It's possible someone on his team, like
creative, I should say.
They could be hiring social media people who know how to, play to the base like.
Oh
this.
yeah, they got their meme guys for sure. Yeah, I mean, listen, that's quintessential Trump in terms of like having no qualms sharing something like that and being cool with that. Can't imagine a DeSantis fan coming up with something that creative.
They hold cameras still, so they're not doing that.
right.
They don't have any talent.
I mean, I don't think DeSantis is cut out for this stuff. His team is not, and he's not either. Like, Trump's gonna eat him alive, and that's for the best. That, quite frankly, for the best. Yes.
I was thinking that I was thinking it was so weird that he chose like Elon Musk, the only person with less charisma than him, to help co-host this Spaces event. But then it's like, wait, no, it makes sense because it makes him seem more charismatic because Elon Musk is the only person with less charisma than Ron DeSantis.
Crazy though, I feel like probably I think Ron DeSantis's whole game has been trying to appeal to like show I'm the more evil, like look at all the evil things I can do on the right wing extreme. So I think because Elon Musk has made himself this beacon of like the left hates him right now and the right apparently, in his mind, I think I'm sorry, my fault. Sorry, but I think in his mind that would probably like help with that image he's been trying to foster. I think in making himself this kind of like right wing. I think he's misguided in application. I think that was probably the thought process there. Let me turn my camera off.
Right. What strikes me about that announcement video is just that it's very standard politician, like from Ron DeSantis. It's like he doesn't stand out any more than Scott Walker did, or that like Jeb Bush did. Like he's very,
and he's doing this with his fingers. That's weird. Well, you see, the border is open and wokeism is, like, what the fuck?
Orange.
Yeah, there's the hands.
Can we also just really imprint on everyone's mind and memory that this man was the torture whisperer, as in, like, he was the person at Guantanamo Bay.
Oh, he's a terrible fucking person, for sure. I don't think there's any question about that.
He's the bad cop in the torture scenario. That's fucked up. That's fucking grim. You don't want someone like that assuming power in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Which is why it's so enjoyable to see how much of a failure this campaign is.
Rumors start. Somebody did Olay do a nip slip. No, I had my blunt in my hand, fool.
Oh my god!
I was wondering what was going on there. I had no idea what happened.
Was in my hand.
No, I don't think that really matters.
Oh, can I have my blunt visible?
Probably. I don't know.
It's like it's a 2.5 hour show. I doubt that they'd see it. Somebody would probably have to. I
don't think the algorithm will catch that. Really?
Somebody could report it probably, but it's not.
Are you not allowed to smoke weed on YouTube? Because you can on Twitch. Twitch is very pro.
Oh, really? No, they're very strict on YouTube.
At least historically they have been. Maybe they've relaxed on that stuff. I don't know.
Even if you just put like smoke in the thumbnail, like it could get you demonetized. It's happened to me before. Yeah. I mean, that might not be the actual reason why, but like I've done that, and it's green text, smoke, and they weren't happy. But I mean,
Kathy,
it depends.
Jen Kathy in the chat says, "David, talk to your chat." I'm doing a show right now. We do at the very end. We do super chats. I can't be reading the chat while trying to have a conversation. It's not going to work out for me.
I got
but we will do super chats.
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed what you said.
To people asking, is weed legal in Canada? Yes. 100% legal. You could just walk into a fucking store, buy the weed, and then consume the weed, and then repeat.
David, I watched something you did this week on your show. I don't remember what it was. I watched some video of yours that showed up in my algorithm. And I think you were talking about covering, somebody asked you something Canadian, and you were like, oh, you know, I cover like American, or I don't cover Canadian or something as much, right? That's what you said? Like, you cover American.
I forget what context I was in, but yeah, that may be
and
the
I
secret.
was like, what's the backstory there? Because like I don't cover anything Bahamian, but that's because I live here. You know what I mean? That's how that happened. How'd you end up in America's business more than Canada?
It's how I got into politics because of like Jon Stewart and like the Young Turks. Like that's, you know, we're talking like 15 years ago. Like that's I grew up as I worked in I worked in marketing, I worked in television, I was a video editor, I worked in I worked in radio after I started doing YouTube. But
I remember
I had a radio
that.
show, like so
you brought me on your radio show. That was cool.
That's right. I had you. I think you're in my first.
That was my first time on radio.
Wow. So it's just honestly, it's what interests me. Like it's what interests me.
It also affects this, by the way. Like Americans, you should realize that what happens in your country. Like, I want fucking socialism to take over, Bernie Sanders to get power, stuff like that, because it'll affect the rest of the world. You are number one, baby. You're the hegemonic superpower. You are the imperial force. Like, you have the most fucking money in your military. You have the most amount of military bases globally. You control the world. You won. So that's why, like, other countries, like it's pretty like normal for other countries to be really invested in American politics.
Yes.
Yeah, and
yes, my parents are. Listen, my parents know my. If you saw my daddy has a Twitter, believe it or not, and if you saw it, you would have no idea. You would think it is a nice, older white Democrat gentleman in America. You would believe it. So my parents watch America. My parents know everything happening, every fucking thing happening in American politics. They are hardcore stinking Democrats. Don't know shit about what's happening to Bahamas, and that don't make no fucking sense, and it never did. So literally, as I'm watching David, I was like, my mama and them would like David. I see what's up happening there. I was like, I gotta remember to ask about that, because what you doing in their business? Like, if I were in the Bahamas, I would be core Bahamian politics. Ask my daddy something about Bahamian politics. He's like, I have no idea. Meanwhile, everything else, he's on the phone like, big opinions. He's like, when are they gonna indict Donald Trump? Do you think he's going to go to jail again? I'm like, daddy. Like, that's
Lance is right though, especially like culturally, there's a massive impact. Like that. All this anti-trans shit, I'm sure it's already starting in Canada. I know it's going to get even worse. Like it's always there's whatever's happening in the U.S. always has an impact on us later on. Pierre Poilievre, the new leader of the Conservative Party in Canada, is very much in the same, cut from the same cloth as
Ron DeSantis. He sounds like Ron DeSantis. He speaks like Ron DeSantis.
They're both fucking losers.
Yeah. Yes. 100%. And it sucks because he's doing like the fashy playbook right now, where he's dipping into a whole bunch of things like cryptocurrency. We have to decentralize from the Canadian economy, and then after that, we have to basically go after the LGBTQ because it's indoctrination, wokeness, right? And it's like this stuff probably would not be front and center if it wasn't like in right wing media circles and being successful in right wing media circles, but not being successful electorally, because at the end of the day, like it's pretty fucked up to be like, hey, by the way, women, you shouldn't have bodily autonomy. Like that doesn't play well in the whole people getting out to vote kind of shit. So that's why a lot of the shit on the right, it's like, it's extreme. They're going so fucking far and so fast, being fucking like, hey, by the way, we should eliminate transgenderism from society and all this kind of stuff. Like it's like, to see as an outsider, to see as someone in a different country, it's scary as fuck. Like I'll just say that.
Does nobody have on the bingo anything about Lance and a trans support monologue? Because you have to add it, because Lance always makes sure he gets it off. I swear to God, every episode I be high minding my business, and suddenly I hear they want to eradicate transgenderism every fucking time, and it like snaps me back. I'm like, what were we talking about? Like, Lance will find a way. You have to put it on the bingo card.
I'll take that. That's a good square. I'll take that square.
That is a good square.
Yeah. I hate that, like, we influence Canada and it's not the other way around. Like, can we copy Canada for once with healthcare, social politics? Like, I remember before we had marriage equality in the United States, like, I was it was blowing up on social media. There was this interview with this old lady from Canada, and I think at that point, gay marriage was legal for like 10 years or so. And she was just like very matter-of-factly. She was like, oh, well, you know, I think they deserve love too. And we were just like, all my friends were sharing that. It's like, see, this old lady from Canada gets it. The society hasn't been destroyed. Let's copy Canada. But no, it's the other way around. The dumb fuckery trickles over to you all, which is terrible because, you know, we may have to flee to Canada one day. And so I want to leave all the dumb fuckery behind.
Well, I mean, the U.S. is getting a little better. At least it appears it is with legalization around marijuana. So some of that stuff, that, you know, of course, depending on the state, but it is getting, you know, Canada did it back in 2018, and nothing changed at all. Everything is just now you could just buy it legally. That's the only difference.
Well, in Oregon, we decriminalized all drugs. It's not a perfect system because we do need to invest more, like in treatment and whatnot. But just decriminalizing all drugs was massive, and we voted to do that. So you know, it really does depend on the state. Like it's so crazy that one state can seem like a different country compared to another state. Like Oregon compared to Mississippi, two different fucking worlds. It's insane that we're the same country.
All right.
I don't know why, but because of Mike's rant, I all of a sudden got that Disney's Tarzan song stuck in my head. Two worlds, one family.
Oh my God, I remember that.
And then since he doesn't smoke, he makes it a point to let us know that he doesn't do anything. But does that seem like the behavior of a sober person? That gives you what the fuck about what Mike was talking about gave him Tarzan?
He talked about two different worlds. He talked about two different worlds.
Behavior of a parent that watches Disney movies. That's what the behavior.
How are you the sober one?
That soundtrack, my parents bought me the CD, and that was my favorite song on that soundtrack when Tarzan came out on Disney.
Well, speaking of Disney, we got the Little Mermaid movie coming out this week.
I'm going to see it on Tuesday.
It looks cute.
Nice. Yeah.
I will say it looks normal. It actually looks really bad. But that's because all Disney's live action looks really bad. It's funny because like the racists were pissed about what's her name again, Halle Bailey. People are pissed about her, but I've seen the trailer. I've seen clips. She looks like she's the best. She seems like she's going to be the best part of the movie.
Yeah, the music is going to be.
She 100%. She 100%. From the clips I saw, she 100% like just owns the aura of Ariel from the cartoon. Like she just own. Like I was like, holy shit! I see why they casted her. She like feels like Ariel, like her demeanor, her voice, everything. So the racists, of course, mad at the wrong thing. It's everything else about that movie that's probably suck.
Sebastian looks very, very bad.
It just seems a little weird to me. I mean, maybe you get used to watching the movie.
All three of those, the three animated animal characters, Sebastian, Flounder, and Scuttlebutt.
Oh, I'm thinking of Flounder. Yeah,
they look horrible. Like, what are they thinking? They look horrible.
It's just weird because it has to be realistic, right?
Yeah,
like
Flounder's supposed to be a little chungus. I don't want to see this weird ass looking realistic fish. You know, he's cute when he's a little chungus. What the fuck?
Little chungus is a cute way to call little chunky things. I like.
Yeah.
Are you just learning about Big Chungus, the meme, right now in real time in 2023? Is that happening?
Big who?
I'm not sure what this is either. I don't know what this is.
What, you two? Both of you don't know what
this
is?
Thing that
okay. No, I can't hold hands here. This is too internet to be real right now. I do want to say this one thing about The Little Mermaid. I did a deep dive into the background of all the racists losing their shit.
The background is racism.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, 100%. Right. Okay, so spoiler alert. I mean,
people are angry.
But hold on. So for anyone who doesn't know, canonically, just for the facts over the feelings, there have been non-white, non-Aryan, non-fucking Anglo-Saxon mermaids in the history of the show. Multiple different people have played in both the live musical, the live presentation, and on the TV show that was done of the live version who were not white. Lots of different people who were not white have played Ariel. Canonically, historically, all the precedents are there. You're just racist. That's it.
Right. Yeah, but it doesn't even matter though.
Who gives a fuck? Stop engaging these fucking bigots on the marriage. Fuck what the other fictional imaginary characters have been depicted as. Like, fuck you grown ass men worried about what this children's film is doing Oh my God! All your loins itching off of the Little Mermaid. Sit down, fucking losers.
It's so bad. So, okay, you all know that I am an adult fan of Lego, so I watch a couple of YouTube videos. Creators,
the worst.
They get sets early, and one of them got a Little Mermaid set and was just commenting, like a new Little Mermaid set, was commented about, oh yeah, this looks really cool. And that video was like the first video they ever did that got like almost 50% dislikes, just because they didn't denounce the Little Mermaid. I'm like, oh my God, in the fucking, you're all Lego fans.
These people are all keyboard. They all live online, right? So they all go from like thing to thing to thing to like downvoting, giving bad reviews. Like they live for this shit. Like it's insane. It's such a sad life. Like
it's so ridiculous.
We need to address the racism in the Lego community, okay? Like
I mean.
It sucks that this isn't a meme. It's real life.
It's real. It actually made me feel depressed.
wait. Olay's trying to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I said I've been black for quite a while, so none of this is surprising to me. That's really how they give it up. Like, I don't know if y'all know news, y'all, but people feel passionately about how they don't like niggas. Earlier in this chat, someone, when I hadn't talked for 30 minutes, was like, I love everybody except the loud one. Blah, blah, blah. I was like,
oh my
God. Been muted on camera, off camera, smoking.
They're so ridiculous.
You know who actually, speaking of the Little Mermaid movie, you know who I have heard that sounds like she's gonna ruin the movie? Friggin' Aquafina. How did she get in that movie?
I didn't know she was in it.
She's a controversial character. She didn't sound bad in the commercial of Scuttle though. She sounded like she's supposed to voice a bird. That seems like that's right for her.
I thought you were gonna say Melissa McCarthy.
No, I think you should have.
You know what? Someone pointed out. You don't hear anyone complaining that Melissa McCarthy as what's her face? Oh my God, I'm having a mental block. Ursula. She's not a fucking squid in the movie. She's an octopus. They changed her completely.
Oh, I didn't know this.
No one's complaining about that, though. No one's complaining about that.
Hold on, what are we talking about? Hold on.
And also, Scuttle's not a seagull anymore. He's a different kind of bird.
Are you making shit up? Or
no, Scuttle's not a seagull. No, Scuttle is not a seagull in the movie.
You can't change him from a seagull.
He's not a seagull in the movie. He's a northern gannet. He's not a seagull in the movie.
Why would they want him to be a seagull?
It appears like there are scenes in the movie where he goes underwater and hangs out with them underwater.
And stop fucking playing. Scuttle what? Hangs out with them. Scuttle don't kick it with them. Scuttle be above. What are they talking about?
But that's why they changed it, because seagulls don't go under the water, but these northern gannets apparently do go underwater, and that's why they changed him. He's not a seagull. I hate to break it to you, Ole, but Scuttle is not a seagull.
How do you know all this?
Because I read about it.
Well, I don't understand why it's necessary.
He's a family man.
I don't remember Scuttle being under the water kicking it with people. He's a bird. Like, I don't. What?
And Sebastian's not Jamaican anymore. He's now Haitian.
First of
all, I made that part up.
He was never Jamaican. He was never Jamaican. He was a Trini man. And that was the guy who voiced him. And then because no one respects Caribbean at all in all of the like stuff they would.
Hey! I respect the Caribbean. I just didn't know.
Not you. Nobody does. No, they really don't. The whole of Academy Hollywood, no one does. It's just a thing. But I mean, obviously, who gives a fuck? Ultimately, I'm not gonna Shapiro this about him being single. But I always like, because the Atlantis is in the Bahamas, right? Like, so it's always like that whole lore around the lost city of Atlantis. We have that in the Bahamas. It always felt very in the Little Mermaid, like it's obviously in the Bahamas. And we got a lot of fucking seagulls. That's what we have. Seagulls. We have lots of goddamn seagulls, just like Scuttle. So I don't know what this fucking fancy bird is, but I know it's not in the fucking Bahamas and not by Atlantis. I know that. So anyhow, whatever. But I will be seeing this movie on Tuesday. I love Halle Bailey. I am hyped.
Yeah, what's funny is that The Little Mermaid, the original cartoon, that was like the first cartoon when I was a kid, like 3 or 4, that I got obsessed with. And I think it's possible it turned me homosexual. I'm not 100% sure, but it's possible.
There we go.
Hold on,
Little Mermaid?
Conversation. Don't move on.
Wait, hold on. What part of Little Mermaid turned you homosexual? Was it the song "Kiss the Girl"? I mean, what?
Little Mermaid had niggas. Remember that? I remember in like the show. They show like was it the Merman or was it King Triton? Because King Triton's hot.
Maybe.
Who was it? Prince Charming? Like who it was?
Maybe.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, no. I think first of all, I had all kind of like TV and cartoon crushes when I was a little kid, but the first time I really realized like I was gonna really make my Grammy spend a bag off my crush was when I watched Star Wars and I saw Hayden Christensen. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know what the fuck happened in Star Wars, but the amount of times me and my Grammy saw that movie in theaters, I'm like, loved him. He loved. Listen, loved.
You want to know who my big fake crush was as a teenager? It was the girl from Transformers, Megan Fox, because everybody else was talking about her, how hot she was. I'm like, oh my god, I love her. She's so fucking hot. Fuck yeah. I don't mean any of this shit. It's Kevin.
Really, you're a little buff.
I mean, Megan Fox is an attractive. She's an attractive woman.
She was my beard. I remember like debating my friends. They're like, no, she has toe thumbs. I'm like, I don't care. She's fucking hot. I'm like.
You know what's a really good movie with her in it though? Jennifer's Body. If you haven't seen that one,
I did see that. I don't remember anything about it.
That's a great movie. That's like a cult classic.
You feel this way? This is a real opinion.
Jennifer's Body. It's a great movie. Yeah.
Like you cracking jokes. Okay, all right.
No, it's a good movie. Oh no! Now you can't tell when I'm being serious or not. No, Jennifer's Body's a good movie.
No, you just saying you've been having some takes.
Wait. Me explaining that Scuttle is no longer a seagull is not a take.
It was a lot. Like I don't know. I've been smoking. You're saying a lot of crazy things. I see that you're right. The world has changed, but it's not crazy to me on impact.
Well, folks, it's 10:30.
Oh, is it already? Wow. Look at that.
This episode went by so fast.
Time flew. That's because we spent like 3 hours on Illuminati.
We didn't even finish it. We didn't even finish.
Oh,
oh no!
I know.
Are we staying for after show?
Bender froze at the worst time.
No, they got him.
Yeah, you should stay for the after show.
There, you unfroze. Sorry, Ole, what you say?
There we go.
Ole?
What I do?
Yeah, I'll
What'd you say? I didn't hear what you were saying.
And I was just saying we'll stay for super chats.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're staying for super chats?
Yeah, we'll stay for super chats.
All right.
Yeah, some of them were addressed to you at the beginning, Ole.
Yeah, that's why I was like, let me
just start from the top here.
Also, real quick, thank you to Ole and Lance for coming back when we got super chats about the Illuminati stuff when we were not prepared to discuss that. That's what solidarity looks like, because we were like sitting there like, yeah, like it was
nice.
I heard Ginger put on his broadcaster voice, and I said, "Oh fuck,
it actually. What sucked about them coming back is the three of us couldn't be like, yeah, man, this was all Ole and Lance's idea. I mean, they fucking just.
Honestly, I know people. There were people who saw it like that. Still, they had me and Lance back together, and I will say, I did say on like episode 1, me and Lance were both Leos. And people didn't want me to say nothing about zodiac signs. The Leo hate is real. I feel deeply. I'm like, Lance.
Okay. I never used to believe in astrological signs until this show.
But me and Lance
this has changed my opinion.
That's how I
I'm
know.
180.
Leo and Leo love. I love Leos. For a lot.
The first chat here from Parker. He will finish off Celtics by the end of this episode. Celtics are winning 100-81. So it appears the sweep is not going to happen, even though Florida Panthers did sweep Carolina in the NHL playoffs. But you are wrong, Parker, but thank you for the super chat. Mike Thompson says, yay, I can tip again. Thank you, Mike. Lemonhead says, President Sunday for 6th member. I don't know who President Sunday is.
I've never heard of them.
It's a political streamer, I believe, who does political streams.
Interesting. This is from
Lee Baratiniar. Thank you all for this. This was during the Illuminati thing. I guess people, from what I saw, people were appreciative of us being just straight up with them. I mean, that's what.
Thank you, Lee.
Thank you, especially Ole.
Lee called me out twice last week, so I appreciate that. Thank you.
I appreciate Lee saying that.
Oh, I recall Lee was calling you out last week in David
me.
Right, she was doing that in David Dole's chat, and then she jumped to my chat when she decided to be nice and friendly to you guys. That's just how it works, right?
well, then that proves it's all bullshit.
No, it's no.
That proves that
the chat
to make my chat look bad.
Exactly.
The aura and scenery of the chat changes people. Like when they're in your chat, they just feel like being evil and nasty. But when they're in my chat, the good-naturedness of my listeners just overwhelms them with kind-heartedness and joy, and they become a good person.
Yes.
I would put my chat up against yours any day, Matt.
Infinite Content says,
I'm just kidding. I would
okay,
not.
Dons, can we discuss how Telcom X Sean King is back up to his incessant scamming again? Ole should speak on this.
Why should Ole speak on this?
Why should Ole speak on this?
Yeah.
I don't follow Sean King. I have no idea what's going on with Sean King.
I'm assuming because I'm perceived as a black activist, I guess.
What the fuck?
Celeste says, don't forget to watch The Little Mermaid this weekend. Oh, there you go. Celeste super into Little Mermaid.
You should speak out. Why don't you say anything about this?
Oh, this one's for me. Rachel K with a $50 super chat. Bless you, good folks. Here's a bit to show my appreciation and to help get Matt a new mic. Solidarity. Yeah, I don't know what's been going on with my mic lately. I guess maybe it might be something with my mic. It's been happening on multiple shows.
Have you tried
not just
different
Leftist
mics?
Mafia.
Because I feel like it's probably just the interface you're using to stream as opposed to the actual mic itself.
It also might be this. I don't know what it's called. It's the audio thingy that you plug the mic into.
Right. I'll have to check it out. I'll have to try things out. It sounds good right now, so who knows? I can't tell why it goes out when it does.
I need a new mic for in here. I have a good mic that I record my show with out there, but I'm gonna buy a different one.
Tara.
Oh, thanks,
Tara Beck says, hi, Mike.
I saw it. I responded.
There you go. This is Binder.
Oh, it is. Vex, I'm poor, but here's $1 for each of you. Well, I thank you, Vex. But I love. Oh, I'm gonna keep all 5 of those.
Bender, I'll send you my Cash App after.
Sounds good.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Adrian with a super chat. I need to get some sleep, but I really appreciate you guys addressing the Blair situation with so much grace. Much love to you guys. Look at this beautiful stuff coming out of my chat.
I really appreciate that.
I love it.
Oh, did Lance leave? I just realized. Should I take him out?
Oh,
Sure,
yeah.
he'll be back. Or no, right? Or is he gone?
I don't think not. I think he's gone
come back.
completely. If he comes back, I'll add him back in. Did I get this one already? Never mind. Yes, I did.
Yep, I read this one. Adrian.
Cosmere Dragon says, bring on leftist power couple Crystal and Kyle to make the case for Marianne Williamson.
That's a good idea, though, to have them on. Yeah.
I'm definitely open to having Kyle. Yeah. I mean, if they want to make the case for her, sure. But yeah.
I mean, hell, Marianne Williamson could come on and make the case for Marianne Williamson if she wants to.
That's a great idea as well.
So if you say that, be serious, because
I am. I seriously have no problem talking with her. She seems like
she's a really sweet lady,
a nice person. Yeah, my qualms aren't even with her, the individual. My qualms are with her campaign in terms of there being no real movement backbone behind it. And if you are a leftist insurgent campaign, you need that. Otherwise, it's going to be
in the water.
Yeah.
Great.
Tokyo Hans.
Tokyo Hans with a super chat. Thank you, Tokyo Hans. Thank you for introducing Ole to us. She is amazing. Can we get a weekly 1 minute segment on what she is eating on stream? Every week you get something delivered. I guess you should take a minute to let us know what delicious dinner you're having.
I was eating oxtail today when my camera was off. I had oxtail dinner tonight. That's what you.
It always makes me so hungry, especially when you're eating French fries. Something about French fries, it makes me want French fries.
I also love that Ole knows that we do this every Thursday at the same time, and she has not moved her dinner time.
It's because of the smoking. Obviously, it's not a choice. Like it's a byproduct of the.
Also, Bender.
Oh, 0PE, the super chat. I care very little about the Blair stuff, to be honest. I wanted y'all to get into the Anna Uber DEI story more so than that. What is the Anna Uber DEI story?
Don't ask. We don't care to stay in her business.
Wait, Anna Kasparian? Oh, I don't.
It's something.
I really didn't know. I don't even know what the Anna Uber DEI
is this the Karen bike thing? Is that what this is?
Oh, is that?
Okay,
no, I don't think that's what.
I'm
I
confused.
stay. Listen,
I have no idea what this is.
Y'all know they sensitive over there. Y'all know we gonna see a clip. Move on.
I don't know what that is.
That's smart.
Oh,
we don't need more drama, people.
This is also
super chat for me again. Wanda, watching this drama unfold makes me glad I am a boomer that didn't have YouTube when I was young. First, I only watched Leftist Mafia because I follow and love Matt, but now I follow all of you and love you all.
Oh, that is a really sweet comment.
I love that.
Chat is
That's very nice.
It would be really funny if Wanda did follow this up though with a super chat that's like including Illuminati, and now I'm going to defend her and say why you should bring her back.
0PE says I vote adding Cyber Demon, which is Andrea, later. As we said, we're not adding a sixth person, but I did see several suggestions.
Yeah, we'd love to bring her back though.
Will we bring guests?
Something plays games and drinks scotch says making up for that demonetization. LMAO. Well, I wasn't demonetized, but thank you. Yeah,
I think you gotta send Mike that $20. And you gotta. That's crystal clear. It's not even meant for you.
But it's 20 Canadian, so it sounds like it's
this is one of my
Canadian
mods.
money.
It's one of my mods. So I think I brought up the fact that Aiden Ross said that he had done a thing related to a family member, and then you're like, oh, we're demonetized. And so one of my mods was like, here's $20. Yeah, that's
okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Samantha Baker says, I like the idea of rotating guests who need platformed or Zaid or Foreign. And shout out and love to Olay. David's chat loves you. Don't forget it.
Yes, I saw that comment earlier, and when I seen this comment, I made a conscious decision to stay around for super chats just to acknowledge it. Thank you, thank you. Yes, thank you.
That's sweet.
Is very sweet. And yes, I love Foreign. That is my brother from another mother. Foreign messaged me.
He was great.
He sent me an audio note. He goes, morning, top of the morning to you. I just want you to know I seen you out here all over the beach in bikinis, not because I saw it in the timeline, because I saw it in group chats. So just wanted you to know what you're doing to the people out there.
I was watching him play Tears of the Kingdom.
I love him.
Nice.
He's great.
Oh, sweet.
George says, I appreciate y'all's response about Blair. Hopefully we can move past it now. Also, LOL at that Ethan guy going on gay dating apps to hunt pedos. Yeah, we discussed that.
I'll be bringing that up next video about him.
I know what it is.
Man's Code says, would you guys have Dusty Smith on your show? I don't know who that is.
I know what it is.
Oh, I love Dusty Smith.
Dusty is like an ex-right-wing Republican guy who did a big pivot to the left and now basically has a channel that tanked aggressively because he was just like, I don't agree with any of your views anymore. I don't like the things that you say. I don't do this anymore. So
I will say I thought it was gonna be a joke because Dusty Smith does sound like a sexual innuendo.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a real person.
Yeah, Dusty Smith is like a huge trans activist now. He's really good guy.
Oh, good then. I retract my horrible comment.
Nope, I'm not dealing with no more controversial backstories. You started off with huge right wing. Keep that. Sorry, nope. I'm not even
we're gonna be very hypersensitive, folks, about guests for a while.
Yes.
Parker says, Mike and David, have you come close to finishing Tears of the Kingdom? It is so amazing. So I feel like I've gone through 3 temples. I think there's like, I don't know, 4 or 5. I'm taking my time now. Like I want to explore the world more. I want to the game is just great in terms of like you could spend hours and not really make any progress in the story. So
yeah,
I might do a little more of that. Mike, how close are you to finishing it?
Nowhere near close. I completed the fire and wind temples. I've unlocked all of the lookout areas. Haven't really explored the depths that much. I mean, I've been down there.
And those are huge too. It's like a whole other map down there. It's crazy. The game is too big.
I'll be playing it for months probably. And I'm not gonna like rush it. I'm gonna take my time.
Yeah, I'll take my time with it.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it though.
Oh my God, you two! Enough with the Zelda. Christ,
I can go on. I can go on for hours. So
yeah, we can have a whole fucking episode on Zelda. It is taking every ounce of willpower to not talk more about it, but I'm reining it in for you all. Okay.
Thank you for the super sticker. One bowl 390. Catherine, this is for you, Bender.
Oh, Catherine with the super chat. You must continue to call them out. Are not paying attention to them doesn't make them disappear. It can only make them bolder, right? This was, I think, in reference to when I think Mike was talking about how sometimes it gets hard and you got to just sort of step away from it for a little bit. But yeah, absolutely. That's why I think all five of us do what we do, because we're steeped into this crap, and there's no way out for us.
Our brains have rotted. No going back.
We are in it. Yeah, that's clear.
Brian says, irony is conservatives protesting drag events because back in the day, the church mandated that female characters and plays be portrayed by men in drag. Women were barred from acting on stage.
That's a really interesting point. I didn't think about that.
One of the most common pronouns in Shakespearean time was they, them.
Radio
friendly.
Radio friendly box with a super chat. DeSantis et al. Using alternative facts for turnout. Yes, they really are. I mean, this is for online social media metrics. I mean, I actually think that's even sadder than Trump being like, there was 1 million people at my inauguration. Like,
this is so much sadder. That's so true.
Like Trump was like, oh, I swear this was this many people live there in person on the front, in the front of the White House, and DeSantis' team is like, we swear there were this many people on the internet tuned into our Twitter Space live chat.
I love your DeSantis voice.
Also, I love the idea that DeSantis broke the internet because the Twitter Space went down. Like, that's the equivalent of me being like, oh yeah, my website was so popular it went down. No one paid attention to the fact that I stopped paying my web host.
Like any engineer or staff.
Right.
This is also yours.
Oh, Crew Herks with a super chat. I've come around on the sanctimonious over Meatball Rod. Trump worked on you and he won you over. That's what Trump does.
Same.
I think we're just hearing it more often, so we're more used to it. But he could do better, I think, than the sanctimonious. But
hearing him say it over and over has, I guess, the repetition has won me over. So I agree with this.
Have you noticed that DeSantis has changed how his last name is visually portrayed so it looks less ethnic? Have you guys noticed that?
No.
Because it's capital D, it's capital D, E, capital S, and then the rest of his name. They've stopped doing that. They've stopped treating it like it's Ron DeSantis. Now it's just like Ron DeSantis. It's one thing now.
Oh my god.
You know what I want to point out? Hold on. Can we just take a second to point out that when Trump came up with a slogan and expression and name, the sanctimonious, and people didn't like it immediately and encouraged him to change that messaging, he just continued on until everybody was sold. Just let the record reflect. He didn't change the sanctimonious. So anyway.
There's a lesson in there, folks.
Yes.
Even though he's wrong. I think he would perform better with a different one. Bay Photo says, after DeSantis' historic announcement, Americans everywhere are asking themselves, what's a Twitter space? And who the hell is David Sachs? There are definitely, I think, a lot of people asking that question.
It was so funny. I just got to say one more time, David Sachs was the one in the Twitter space that was just like, oh, this is absolutely incredible, astonishing numbers. I can't believe what a momentous, the sheer majesty of the numbers, sir. It's like Corpse Husband gets more viewers every single day just on his stream on YouTube, like at any given point. He gets like 4 times as many viewers as that all the time.
By the way, if you're a leftist who's not familiar with David Sachs, you'll probably know him as the guy who founded that platform Call In, that a bunch of I think Ole, you used it, right? And by the way, he just sold it to Rumble. He just sold it to Rumble. He just sold Call In to Rumble.
You know what? Good. That's an excuse for me to just wrap that up. The last time, yeah, that's fine.
Man, I'm really taking everything away from Ole. I took away her Twitter verified badge. I took away her
Harry Potter, the Little Mermaid.
I took away Harry Potter. No, I didn't take away Little Mermaid, but I did take away Harry Potter.
Harry Potter was a group effort.
Anything else that you like, Ole, for Matt to ruin?
I'm sure he'll find something. I'm sure he'll find it. He'll have.
Ole, what mic are you using? Did you know that guy was originally Adolf Hitler's right hand man?
Listen, yeah, I'll wrap it up.
This is also Bender.
Oh, Foresto Mintero with a super chat. Landlording breaks brains like the Stanford prison experiment, so it should be an excommunicable offense. So this is defending
unequivocally against like any human being that is a landlord, but I get it. I understand the intellectual argument.
Oh, I just have to put this isn't a super chat, but someone in the chat, this just went past me and it's really funny. In terms of what I'm gonna ruin for Ole next. Oxtail is canceled.
First of all, you could never. You don't have the power. You don't have the authority to cancel ox.
Do you know it's from an ox? Did you realize that?
Hashtag not all oxes.
Oxtail is delicious.
Alma says, I look forward to watching you guys every week. Thank you so much.
Love that.
Love that. I these really polite comments and just nice comments, they're so appreciated. I don't know how much you realize, folks. So we love them.
Translation, Mike is saying, give me more super chats.
I can't take any.
You can't take any.
Oh, you're still demonetized?
The piece of shit reflex.
Yeah. I'm still out. I've lost almost every single member. I'm down to 50. So
oh my god.
Oh, that's because they can't renew. It's not like they're purposefully leaving you. They just can't renew.
Yeah, so if I'm demonetized when they're scheduled to renew, it just auto cancels. I don't know if they're going to be restored. Oh my god. But yeah.
And it's not even like Patreon where they give you the email addresses. You could like email blast everyone and let them know like, oh, yeah. I'm back. You could resubscribe. Those people are just, you know.
Yeah, I didn't know. Because I post early access to my videos. Like if they're going to go out in a couple of days, I'll send them out to like YouTube members. I was doing that and none of them on YouTube could see it. Only the Patreon people. And I'm like, man, these aren't getting as much views before they go up as they usually do. Yeah, that's because nobody has memberships now. So
damn, that sucks.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I hope you're back online soon with that stuff.
You had that many YouTube memberships, by the way, that it rivaled Patreon, like in terms of your members?
It didn't rival Patreon. Patreon is still more, but Patreon has been going down over the years and YouTube has been going up just because it's more convenient, I think.
Damn, I got to turn on YouTube memberships.
Yeah, it's
you should turn it on, yeah.
It's just easier, you know, if somebody wants to get like early access or, you know, you want to directly communicate with them, it's just right there. But then again, you have YouTube that can just pull the rug out from under you at any fucking point. So, I mean, it's worthwhile to keep it, but I would recommend Patreon over it for sure.
Kelsey, thank you for your super chat. Andrew, this is for you, Bender.
Oh, Andrew S. If all members are here, you can split my donation for Matt if you answer this question, and we won't be doing that, but we'll answer the question. If you can create a wrestling persona, would you be a baby face or heel, and what would your gimmick be? Oh, I would 100% be a heel. Easiest.
Yeah, that's I don't know what that means.
It means the bad guy. The bad guy.
That everyone loves
in wrestling. Would you be the bad guy or would you be the good guy?
Power me! I am the garbage king or whatever. Yeah,
I would be a bad guy. It's all fake, right?
Yeah, I'd be a bad
guy. Gotta have fun.
That'd be fun.
Oh, the gimmick wise. Oh, this is a hard one.
The heroes? I guess it's just the two of us. We have to take team as the heroes. They're all the bad guys.
No, I'd be a bad guy.
Oh shit!
Did you see it? David said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I think I need to comment on. I'm sorry. I thought I went without saying. Oh,
it's just in terms of acting. Like, I feel like there's so much more you could do with that. Like, there's just.
I agree.
Gimmick is hard. You need to give us time for that one. We'll answer the gimmick part next week. We got to think of our character.
Yeah,
that's not something we could. Yeah.
Rachel, Rachel, it is for me, but it's a question for Mike. Do you take interview ideas for Pride Month?
I mean, sure. I haven't really been doing any interviews outside of the Leftist Mafia, but yeah, for sure. I'm happy to hear any recommendations.
Dynamite Editor says, this is for Mike. I want to know that things can get better. Everyone on Discord has banded together and will teach you how to use it. You don't need to be in your boomer bubble forever.
Thank you. Thank you.
The Discord's easy to use if it's set up properly. Like, I think we should work on our Discord a little more and you know, have encourage proper chat in there, because the way it's set up right now, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I think we can make it.
I looked at it and my eyes just like glossed over. I'm like, fuck
this.
There's
just a ton of chat. It's really confusing. That's all.
I don't know. It's too many channels and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're one of my mods, by the way, and you want to be a mod on Discord, reach out to me, and then I'll forward your info to Binder or Lance, whoever does it.
Do fun stuff.
Yeah, whoever wants it can take over.
I keep saying we need to have a show that we all watch that we can talk about on the thing.
I think that would be awesome.
David have a tendency to watch the same shows funny enough, but the rest of y'all need to get on fucking board.
All right, so let's all agree on one. WWE Monday Night Raw every Monday night. 3 hours of pro wrestling, baby. Let's do it.
Last episode is this week of Succession. Last episode.
Yeah, I'm down to talk about
Series
Succession.
finale.
I've never.
I'm 2 seasons behind.
Never watched it.
Okay, we'll talk about it. Can't spoil.
Shoot, yeah, it's good.
I should start a wrestling podcast. Someone said, "Let's go wrestling podcast" in the chat. I do need to start a wrestling podcast. Yes, I should do it.
We can all have our own little, like, Matt can do wrestling. I can do video games with David.
Yeah.
You know, we can all have our own little things.
It also helps our brains, like, to like, you know, not have to focus on this shit every day.
Yeah.
It's a good little break.
Maybe like some extras in the future, extra little side shows that we can do.
This is for Binder.
If you pay.
Miss Siren, $20 super chat. Jeez. Love you all and had great laughs. Ole is a gem.
I am a gem and you got $20 for it.
Another 20 for Binder.
Another 20 for me. Jeez, Nick Maurer. Hey guys, can we schedule more leftist mafias throughout the week? This is quite lucrative for me. Nick Maurer with a $20 super chat. Here's my vote to get RM Brown back on the show for one day, or perhaps permanently as a 6th member if it works out. I think we should definitely have him as a more regular guest.
I love RM.
There's definitely guests we could have on, like on a more regular basis than most. Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of a permanent member, though, there's too many guys on here. Ole is already outnumbered.
Yeah, we can't have.
Yeah, if we did add a 6th, it would definitely couldn't be a guy, right?
Extremely white.
You don't like. There's too many white dudes. It's just oversaturation.
Yeah.
Social Left says, "Can you guys invite TJ Kirk on, please?"
Who's TJ Kirk, Lance?
The Amazing Atheist.
I don't follow his content anymore.
He's had a turn over the years, hasn't he? I remember he did not. Wasn't a fan of mine back in the early 2010s. Well, because I'm pretty sure he was like an anti-SJW guy, wasn't he?
He went from like
I don't want
progressive to that to.
You know what? I've had enough controversy for a lifetime.
That's the thing.
I'm not accepting anybody with any known pivots. I don't give a fuck what the explanation is. Prior right wing shit, no. Don't. I'm not gonna be on frame with them. Nope.
And here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a process for each guest. We're gonna announce them 2 months in advance. You all can provide us with all the Oppo research, and then we'll vote to make a decision democratically on whether or not to bring them on. Yeah. So that's how we'll do it going forward.
We'll do the whole thing.
Background checks especially, yeah.
Joining Leftist Mafia today to talk about his recent turn to the left, David Duke, former...
Oh, man. Matt Claremont says, American politics are more interesting. American right wing are trying to overthrow the government. Canadian right wing are protesting 15-minute cities on an overpass. Well, I would not downplay the Canadian right wing right now, especially with Pierre Poilievre. He has a very strong potential of becoming prime minister. So yeah,
most likely in terms of polling right now, yes. Yeah,
it's a threat.
It's not a good situation. Yeah, right now,
and we also have crazy extreme people here that aren't politicians. Like it's not all roses.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I just want to quickly explain this. If anyone doesn't know this about Canadian far-right fascist shit, the current leader of the Conservative Party in Canada has met multiple times with members of Diagolon. It's this really weird-ass, like, far-right fucking conspiracy theorist militia-style thing where they believe one corner of Canada to Florida should be its own country on, like, a diagonal. And, like, it's so weird that he took photos with this dude. They shook hands. He's a fucking white supremacist. And then the leader of this fucking white supremacist shit said about his wife, he joked about raping his wife, and only then did Pierre, the leader of the Conservative Party of Canada, condemn him. It took him joking about raping his own wife for him to publicly be like, so these are kind of fashy, shitty people. Yeah.
Imagine joking about raping your own partner. And like, if he wants to take Florida, I'm not going to argue with him, but that is just it's so weird.
Yeah, it's fucked.
Here's this is for Bender.
All right. Alma Gosling with a super chat. Here's some money saving Ole and Mike's till monetized. Oh, there you go.
Man, Bender has a lot of payments to be making after the show.
For
I'm just doing
Resto,
pretty good today.
yeah, for Resto Montero with a super chat. Anna went on a rant about Karen hunting. Well, I have no idea.
We're not gonna, God, people. We're not gonna answer for everyone's fucking positions on things.
Was this about the city bike thing? Because I had a take on the city bike thing the minute I saw it, and it was simply people got to stop touching this stuff before all the stuff gets out, because you're all gonna end up, circling around into stories that, first of all, shouldn't be national news. A dispute between two people like that should not be put on national display until there is a national issue about it. Until there's something that comes out that should make it a national issue. And I didn't see that in that video, so I didn't touch it. There was no information about it. And then when information did come out, you had conservatives lapping up these claims that the woman who tried to take the bike had receipts for the bike, but none of them dared to show the receipts, so you didn't have any proof. You were just going off of what the New York Post was reporting from her fucking lawyer. Yeah. Automatically red flag. You can't touch it. And then now apparently you have the sister of the boy who had the bike coming out with her own receipts, and those look very interesting and legit. But again, you need to see the whole picture, and we don't have it yet. So number one, the story shouldn't have went national, and number two, once it did, you really should wait until you get everything before you come out and say anything about it. Honestly.
This is also for Bender.
Rhodes with a super chat. How about weekly skews? What is that?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I was hoping you would know.
I'm thinking maybe it's a typo. I don't know. I have no idea. Samantha Baker, thank you, says, Ole, I feel so special. You stayed for super chats because you saw my previous super chat. Crying face heart. I love it. And love you. You are just amazing.
Oh,
Heart.
thank you so much.
That's so sweet.
Look how
Thank you, Samantha. That's very kind of you.
Thank you. Thank you. I love that.
Awesome.
That's really sweet.
That's very wholesome.
Honestly, it really
Bender,
made
this is
my
you.
day.
Turbo Sun with a super chat. There's an update on the city bike incident with an interview from the boy and his family addressing things from a small news outlet called News One, wanting to get out because of how they are being slandered. Yeah, that was another aspect. We didn't even hear from the other side of the story. Like, conservatives were wrong for jumping on this. People we needed to get the whole story, and we just didn't. And people were shouting off their opinions on it before anything come out. I mean, I think it's legit to point out that what she was doing, clearly as a white woman, sort of weaponizing her behavior, her whiteness on these black kids, is certainly an issue. But I think there's better examples of that, particularly ones where they actually get the police involved, because then, in my opinion, it becomes a national story when they get the police involved. Until then, it's really just a dispute between two people that really shouldn't be put on a national display.
For you as well.
Oh, Argonian Bum with a super chat. This one is for Mike. Sorry, Matt, though. Much love to you, too. Hey, you're giving me the money. That's all that matters. Is there somewhere you upload your hilarious songs?
No. I haven't thought about doing that. Maybe I should, though.
Brian says, they, them, there is something that more people need to learn about. It's always grammatically correct, and it's gender neutral. Everyone wins, i.e. a mechanic often stores their tools in a toolbox. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not hard to understand. I'm surprised that there's still confusion about any of this.
Oh, I should say really quick, going back to the songs thing, I wanted to give a shout out to Lord Magnus. He does some of the songs, some of the music for the outros that I use. Go check him out because he actually has an album on Spotify, and there's some really, really good beats.
Zero says, that's why I suggested a trans woman, trans representation. I mean in terms of future host.
Yes.
But yeah, so we're sticking with 5. And
Lance has got that covered.
For what? Sorry, I missed it.
With trans rights and everything. I'm just joking. It's a joke.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Because Ole mentioned earlier how Lance always he needs to put together like a essay piece with all of his background and expertise on it. So I was just making a callback.
Backs over the
Bender.
Amy Kamori with the super chat. RM Brown guest, please. Yeah, he's definitely gonna come back on as a guest.
Oh yeah,
and I think he should come on as a regular guest for sure.
Yeah, got some diehard fans, child. Because we've had some great guests. Y'all really going hard.
Also, Bender.
Oh wow, Jose Garibaldi, love you all. Thank you, or Garibaldi. Sorry if I messed up your last name.
Last one for Bender, then last one for me after this.
Oh, Rose. They are two white dudes, so never mind. Wait, who? Oh, was this in? Did you say something earlier? I don't remember.
Two white dudes, so never mind. Oh yeah, Oh, no. I don't know what this person said.
Sorry,
I maybe Chris Kyle, but that's not two dudes. I'm not sure. Last one here. Type says the left needs to collaborate with professional SciComm journalists. I'd love to see any of you interview someone like Cara Santa Maria on RFK Jr.'s anti-vax nonsense. Yeah, I used to listen to her podcast, her science podcast. Yeah, there's definitely. I agree with you. I think that the left can probably collaborate more with science communicators. I agree.
Oh,
all right.
I just saw what Rose. I'm sorry. I just saw what Rose was mentioning. The Weekly Skews is a show, and I guess it consists of two white dudes. We could have them on. We're not saying no more white
dude.
We're not saying.
Speak for yourself.
All right, that's it. We're good. Oh wait, no, sorry. There's one more. This may have just come in. Nathan, thank you for the $5. No message. All right.
Very nice.
Thank you for all your generosity, everybody.
Nathan knew you wanted to jump off the stream, David, so he gave you his money and didn't say a word.
Nathan can feel my exhaustion through the camera. This is fun, people. Had a good
We'll
time.
see you all next week.
Wait, some
people
are asking in the chat why only 5 hosts now. All right, well let's start. Let's start from the beginning. Give me 30 minutes.
Go to the beginning of the stream and you will discover the news.
I actually did see some comments like that when we were getting into super chats. It's like they're fucking with us. Like they've got to be fucking with us.
Yeah. Or they missed the beginning, which is possible.
True.
You're muted.
Oh, you're muted, Ole.
You're muted. Ole, you're muted.
I'm putting in a new video. I'm dropping a new video on my channel tomorrow. That's what I said.
Oh, nice. What is the channel again? Tell everyone the URL so they can go to it.
Illuminati.
There you go.
Yes.
Links in my description box already. Check it out. Subscribe and hit the like button. It really does help with the algorithm. I try to get in the habit myself. Sometimes I forget, but try to do that. It goes a long way.
Thank you.
Yep.
And subscribe to my channel, youtube.com/MattBender. Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everyone.